North and Cedar, just south of Kuchenbecker Tractor. Look for the big blue sign. For water recycling systems, steam cleaners, and of course, pressure washers, give A&E a call at 275-3891 or visit aefresno.com.
Tradition, a treasure that lasts for generations. An ice sparkling gift for Christmas is a great tradition.
I'm Ara Carcasian. Our tradition of the best selection, value, and real customer service continues.
Ara Carcasian Jewelers, northeast corner of Bullard and West.
Celebrating a century of broadcasting. News Talk 580 AM, 105.9 FM. KMJ, Fresno, a Cumulus Media station.
Partly sunny, 53 at Radio City. It's 2 o'clock. I'm Liz Kern in the KMJ newsroom. Clovis police arrest a porch pirate on a traffic stop. Just before 8 last night, an officer recognized a vehicle near Clovis and Barstow. It was the same car involved in a package theft just hours earlier in the Harlan Ranch area. That's the homeowner's surveillance video. It helped police to identify and arrest 20-year-old Manuel Alejandro Rivera Miranda of Fresno for felony grand theft and theft of mail. Police found unopened packages in his car. That property is being returned to owners today. President Biden, speaking at the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit today in Washington, announces his plan to work with Congress to invest $55 billion in Africa. ABC's Karen Travers has details.
President Biden officially called for the African Union to be invited as a permanent member of the G20, saying it's been a long time in coming, but it's going to come.
African voices, African leadership, African innovation, all are critical to addressing the most pressing global challenges and to realizing the vision we all share. A world that is free, a world that is open, prosperous, and secure.
The president also teased a possible trip to Africa.
As I told some of you, you invited me to your countries. I said, be careful what you wish for, because I may show up.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The Democratic-led House passes a short-term spending bill to keep government agencies funded at current levels through December 23rd, giving lawmakers more time to craft a roughly $1.7 trillion package to cover the full fiscal year. Congress still faces a deadline of midnight on Friday to pass the extension or to allow for a partial government shutdown. Outrage continues among some students and parents at Sanger Unified after the school board takes action to remove certain posters and flags from classrooms.
In a very heated board meeting Tuesday night, Sanger Unified School District enforced anything in the classroom not curriculum related, including flags representing the LGBTQ+ community and Black Lives Matter, were not allowed in the classroom. Students in the Sanger School District said they're not surprised.
Very upset. Obviously, they don't care about their students, even though they claim to. They don't care about them at all.
The Sanger School District sent Fox 26 a statement about its decision, saying in part, "Our first priority is to ensure the core curriculum is taught and is showcased in the classroom, and that every student feels safe to be there and to learn. Regarding the items that are placed in the classroom that are not part of the core curriculum material taught, classrooms should reflect the subject matter content."
That's Fox 26 News reporter Sophia Lesios. A California garlic industry legend passes away. KMJ Ag Director Don York has more.
Gilroy farmer Don Christopher turned his ranch into the nation's largest garlic processor. He also helped put Gilroy on the world map because of the garlic festival held there for many decades. Don passed away earlier this week. He appeared in a Christopher Ranch YouTube video last year and talked about getting started in the business.
Garlic came to be when I came to Gilroy and found this property. Started growing garlic. I started growing 13 acres and sold it for 10 cents a pound.
Don Christopher was 88 years old. Memorial plans are pending. Don York, KMJ News.
On Wall Street, the Dow tumbles down 764 points, closing at 33,202. The S&P 500 lost 99 points. NASDAQ dropped 360. Now here's Fox 26's Christina Lopez with our Thursday forecast.
Good Thursday afternoon. We are seeing freezing temperatures across the valley with the freeze warning in effect through Monday, 7 a.m. with overnight and early morning temperatures hovering between 25 and 32 degrees. Right here in the Fresno area, a high of 54 with mostly sunny skies, a low of 35. At the Fox 26 Weather Center, I'm Christina Lopez. For KMJ News, make it a safe day.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Liz Kern, News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Thank you, Liz, and good afternoon, everyone. If you've got one problem to deal with today, and that is on North Bryant near Millerton, a vehicle versus a power pole. They're getting the vehicle out of the way, and then PG&E can move the power pole. So hopefully in the next half hour or so, that area will be back to normal. Next update, 217. It's Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
Commercial Radiator, your full-service repair shop for large industrial radiators, ag equipment, or to keep your fleet on the road. That's Commercial Radiator.
Now, the Valley's Afternoon Drive with Philip Teresi. Philip Teresi. Your calls, your tweets, and your voice are welcome right now on News Talk 580 1059 KMJ.
206, it's News Talk 580 1059 KMJ. Good afternoon and welcome to hour number one of the Thursday installment of your afternoon drive. Phone numbers here are 490-5858 and toll free 800-776-5858. Find the show all over social media at Drive KMJ and watch it streaming live worldwide on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.tv. Also at Drive KMJ. Joshua Weekly is standing by to screen your calls this afternoon. Thanks to Blake Taylor for covering for me yesterday afternoon. I know the show was kind of funky, and that's my fault. I have been fighting against some kind of stomach thing. And I don't know if it was something I ate. I don't know if it was stress. Because, guys, I'm not going to bore you with the details, but getting word that one of my best friends from my early 20s had died badly and of cancer with like 30 minutes left in the show, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. And I needed a reset. And I appreciate Josh and Greg and Liz and Blake all scrambling to cover so that I could have the afternoon off. But yesterday was it was a mental health day. It was one of those moments where it was, I'm not going to come in here. I'm not going to have fun. I'm not going to have a good time. And I had to step away. And it was, I don't want to bail on you guys. This is usually my refuge. But one of the stories that we are going to talk about today, honestly, it's what I was looking at when I just decided I can't. And it's the story of what we now know was a man setting his freshly murdered pregnant sister's body on fire. And it was too much to bear yesterday. It's too much to bear today. There is now at least a little bit of information about who did what. There is a suspect in custody, and I don't know if you can call it justice for what happened, but the district attorney is looking at the death penalty because that baby was a baby. It wasn't a zygote. It wasn't a clump of cells. It wasn't some neonatal is it or isn't. It was a baby that was old enough to have survived apart from its mother, and that guy killed it. And what happened was it was heartbreaking and disgusting, and I saw that and I hit a wall. There's only so much of this kind of stuff that we can take. We'll get into the details of the story later. I do not envy any of the people who had to respond to that scene. In a much more pedestrian and easily psychologically processed realm, we're going to have a recall, or not a recall, we're going to have a recount, it looks like. The District 16 California State Senate Republican candidate has announced that he is requesting a recount of the results in all four of the counties in District 16. Democrat Melissa Hurtado, the incumbent, was declared the winner last week after Kern County finalized its ballots. Mr. Shepard made his announcement after that certification. There was only a 20-vote margin. There were more than 136,000 votes cast in this contest, and the difference between victory and defeat was 20. So Shepard said, quote, yesterday afternoon, we officially filed the necessary paperwork with the county elections offices in each of the 4 Senate District 16 counties needed to trigger a recount. Given some procedural irregularities that our campaign has observed, I believe that a recount is necessary. This is a historically close election, and it is imperative that every legally cast vote be counted. So it's really important to note here, this is not a Kerry Lake tilting at windmills, chaotic Republican election denial issue. This is 20 votes. And when he's talking about irregularities, there are legitimate questions that combined with that narrow margin. If we were talking about a blowout, if Melissa Hurtado had won by 3 or 4% even, I don't think that Shepard would bother to go out and pursue this. But given how narrow the margin is, and given the nature of irregularities, not malfeasance, not election fraud, not some big hair-raising lunacy, just straight up a couple of things weren't quite right, and when you've got a margin of 2-0, he's utterly justified in asking for a recount. So what we know is the Kern County Elections Office filed a petition in Kern County Superior Court, and I'm not clear if it was Monday 3 days ago or if it was Monday 10 days ago. But the Kern County Elections Office filed a petition in Superior Court, I think just this past Monday, after they found 10 unopened mail-in ballots. The Elections Office told the court those 10 ballots are eligible to be counted. And so the Elections Office is asking the court to grant an extension to the certification deadline, which is Friday, tomorrow, for the California Secretary of State. The Kern County Registrar of Voters, Mary Bedard, says, and this is a direct quote from by way of San Joaquin Valley Sun, there are no contests in which the final result will be altered by the inclusion of these ballots. All contests were decided by margins larger than the outstanding number of ballots to be counted. And as it turns out, of the 10 remaining ballots, 5 of them are from voters in the 16th Senate District. As yet, there's no indication of how those 5 votes went. But when the divide was 20 votes and there's 5 votes that aren't counted, you now have a difference in win and loss of 15 in a contest where 140,000 some odd people participated. The other piece here that I think renders Shepard's request for a recount reasonable and valid is, and this is alleged by Shepard, Kern County had already counted 10,000 more ballots than it initially reported to the California Secretary of State. Now, this could be a clerical issue in the initial reporting. This could be a oversight of 1,000 orders of magnitude larger than these 10 envelopes they found. This could be, in my opinion, people who either voted by mail and then went and drew a provisional because they wanted to change their vote or because they forgot they voted. It could be people who registered day of. I mean, there's a couple of reasonable explanations for how we got a shift of 10,000 ballots reported between the initial submission from Kern County and the finalized numbers. Shepard makes the point, given the 136,894 ballots cast, that small margin, unaccounted cured ballots, and clear procedural issues in Kern County, even the slightest of errors could be consequential. Here's one more piece why I think this is somebody who believes it. Any registered voter in the state of California is eligible to request a recount from the Secretary of State. The state will determine the cost of the recount, and in this case, Mr. Shepard will have to pay an advance deposit of that estimated cost. The only way he gets his money back is if the recount overturns the results and declares him the winner. State law does not otherwise establish a deadline for recounts. On a margin like that, I don't know what Shepard's war chest looks like. I don't know what he's got sitting in the bank after the campaign, after all of the debts that I'm sure remain to be satisfied from having run this campaign. But on a margin of officially 20, but possibly realistically just 15, I don't mean this in any way to insult any of the respective registrar of voters in the 4 counties in which California State Senate District 16 exists, but a margin that tight and 2 stories out of Kern County like that, yeah, if he's got the scratch in his campaign account, I think it'd be silly not to ask for it. 490-5858 is the number here, 800-776-5858. When we get back, we got a kid at Bullard High School doing something really, really cool for her fellow students. And coming up this hour, Andy Field from ABC News is going to join us, and we are going to talk about the TikTok bill that just cleared the Senate. It's the afternoon drive at News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ. Thanks for hanging out.
Got an update for you on North Bryant Road, Millerton, a vehicle versus a power pole. And PG&E is estimating now that it's going to be about 8 hours before this area is back to normal in any way, shape, or form. Right now, there's just a lot of traffic, and it's kind of an area that you might want to consider just avoiding altogether. Our next update, 2:33. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
This report is sponsored by SaveOurWater.com. Did you know fixing outdoor leaks can save 27 to 90 gallons of water per day? Even tiny leaks can be huge water wasters. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more water-saving tips. Let's all do our part. Save water. Save California.
This holiday season, the best gift is the peace of mind you get from protecting yourself and your loved ones from COVID-19. There's an updated COVID-19 vaccine that helps protect against the newer variants. If you are older or have a chronic condition, you are at greater risk. If it's been more than 2 months since your last shot, or 3 months since you had COVID, you should get the shot. It's easy and free to you. Learn more at covidvaccineproject.org. That's covidvaccineproject.org.
Are you like me? You like to play around with your truck or your Jeep? Whether that vehicle is just a toy or maybe it's your office, it's your work. That's how you make your living because of your truck. Every single need you have with that vehicle is met by the Noble Brothers Truck Accessory Center. Yeah, me, Ray Appleton. I'm talking about this great company that I have been involved with for a couple of decades now. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many different dealerships here in Central California have used the Noble Brothers for years to finish their trucks. But you want to finish that after-purchase build-out? Your partner on that one has to be the Noble Brothers Truck Accessory Centers. 2 of them, one out in Sunnyside, the other at Blackstone and Sierra. Hey, you got a fifth wheel? You need the Noble Brothers. They have gooseneck hitches, and yes, they have B&W. You need a bed liner, a ladder rack? You have a Jeep Wrangler like me. You want to lift it, big tires, wheels, all kinds of lights. For 42 years, it's the Noble Brothers Truck Accessory Centers.
Okay, Clarks, this is the last question before our lightning speedy solar round. 100 techs surveyed. Name some materials solar for you doesn't scrimp on.
Well, obviously, it's uniforms.
Radical.
What? That's absurd. I was obviously joking.
You gonna take that W or what?
That sounds like an L to me, guy. At Energy Concepts, we never cut corners on training, parts, panels, or installations. Call Energy Concepts, the highest-rated SunPower elite dealer in the Valley. Now that's a power move.
Now, a Christmas poem from All Britain Plumbing.
'Twas right before Christmas, and quiet as a mouse, you sneaked toward your shower in your overfull house.
For the relatives came with a clatter and flash, but your plumbing's not ready. The hot water won't last.
It's my old water heater, you reflect with a mutter. After 2 have had showers, the third shivers and shudders.
But reaching the door in your showering cap, you hear bathwater blasting. Who the deuces is that?
By the time they get out and your time to get in, you know that your hot water margin is thin.
And as you're fast soaping, the hot water fails, and the freezing blast rises as you flop and you flail.
And inside the shower, you let out such a screaming.
The entire house wakes, though they thought they were dreaming.
And they hear you exclaim as you streak past them running.
I should have called All Britain to fix up my plumbing.
Avoid the nightmare before Christmas
with the tankless water heater from All Britain.
For the gift of endless hot water in your home,
go online to allbritain.com.
Cumulus Radio in Fresno is looking to hire an account executive to represent our radio brands and digital platforms. If you have a background in marketing and advertising and have a passion for helping local businesses grow their footprint in our market, we may be a good fit for you. You will work directly with local clients and help diversify their marketing initiatives across various organized platforms. The ideal candidate will be creative, social media savvy, progressive digital mentality, and fun to work with. Please send your resume to General Sales Manager Melissa Del Carlo at melissa.delcarlo@cumulus.com. Cumulus Media is an equal opportunity employer.
As a California grower, you understand how essential water is to your crops. With Talatay by Valagro, you can increase crop water productivity. When applied to soil via irrigation, Talatay helps crops maximize water use by increasing the uptake of water and conserving water content inside plant tissue. Despite less than adequate water in the soil, crops can continue healthy growth and support high yields under water deficits. Visit valagrousa.com or call 559-287-7724 to learn more. Talatay, the value of every single drop.
I really can't remember if this is actually AC/DC or if this is Bob Rivers. I think it's actually AC/DC. I can't remember anymore. It's the Afternoon Drive at News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ worldwide. Listen to KMJNow.com. We got a new app in the Google Play and iOS app stores as well. And holy smokes, it is an upgrade. Got Andy Field joining us in a couple of minutes to talk about the TikTok bill coming through the Senate. And right now, accolades for a kid over at Bullard High School. This was a cool thing to do, man. Grace Osborne is her name. And her goal is to make sure that every kid going to school at Bullard High gets to look and feel their best. So she has started it's a free clothes closet for students at Bullard High School. They actually don't just stock clothes. They're also going to have hygiene products in there. And any kid who is in need is able to go in and get what they need, and it is all free of charge. One of the sponsors says, quote, having that space here will allow the kids' focus to go back to their education instead of their basic needs not being met. They're hoping to open this to everybody by January, but they are still in need of donations. And Ms. Osborne says, we're always going to need more racks, more hangers, more hygiene products. They're also accepting new and gently used clothing and monetary donations. If you want to make a donation, if you got a bunch of stuff hanging in the closet that you're not wearing anymore, again, new or gently used, you can drop it off at the Bullard High School Administration Office through tomorrow, or when the kids get back from winter break in January. That's on the 9th. And there's a site where you can donate online. I'm going to post the link to that and this story so you can see exactly where to go and what to do. I don't want to undermine what this kid is doing. I want to be really clear about that. And she says that they are looking for new and gently used articles of clothing. I have a kid in high school, a sophomore. We are, as a family, very fortunate that whatever my kid needs, my kid simply has to ask for. Doesn't matter. You want to go to Target, you want to go to Walmart, you want to go to Macy's, you want to go to Penny's, we can manage. Not everything at Macy's, but you know what I'm saying. My kid dresses like a bum. This is a thing, and I think that it's it is post-pandemic, post-remote learning fashion. And there are kids who are showing up looking pretty much like we did in high school. You know, blue jeans and T-shirts and flannels and all that nonsense. A lot of hoodies. But there is, and I was talking with a friend of mine this morning. Well, I say a friend of mine, my broker. And she was telling me she's got the exact same thing. There's no reason for these kids not to be dressed however they want to be dressed. And they want to wear pajama pants and duct tape Doc Martens and jackets that they got at the Goodwill store. I don't understand. I was in high school in the grunge era. And we thought that we all looked pretty rough, pretty woodsy with our Pendletons and our Doc Martens. But the bar has been lowered, I guess. All that to say, I wouldn't drop off scraps and rags. That's not the point of what this young lady is trying to do at Bullard High School. Grace Osborne, forgive me. I'm just saying, if you got a pair of blue jeans that has holes in the knees and you're not wearing them because you're an adult, the holy blue jeans, again, intact otherwise, but blue jeans with holes in the knees, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But check in with Grace when you make your donation, when you drop stuff off. You don't want to create any kind of a problem. You don't want her to have to throw away a well-intentioned gift. And again, the cash donations will be particularly welcome because those hygiene products, you've got a lot of kids with a lot of different needs, and I would not want to presuppose what any of them might be. So we'll post those links up so you can check them out. And love to see you guys throw donations in for this. I think it's a great idea because there are kids who dress like hobos because they think it's funny, and there are kids who are going without. And this is a tough time of year to go without anyways. Now, in just a minute, we are going to connect up with Andy Field over at ABC News. This TikTok bill made it through the Senate by unanimous consent late yesterday. So it still needs to pass in the House. It still needs to be signed by the president. But after we saw several governors and states' legislatures banning TikTok on their employees' devices, government devices, we're hearing from the Pentagon that this is going into effect for military. They want to enact it's the No TikTok on Government Devices Act. I've been banging this drum for months now. TikTok is spyware. I know it's fun and the kids love it. And so do adults who apparently want to watch kids dance. It's spyware. It's collecting an insane amount of data and it's passing it right back to ByteDance, which is a company owned and controlled by the Chinese Communist government. So we're going to hear from Andy Field about what this looks like and if we see this going any further, if this is just going to be a ban from government devices or if there is any eye towards possibly expanding this ban further. It was something that President Trump talked about, and I was always very frustrated that he didn't follow through on that, but he was headed in the right direction. So Andy Field on the way right now. An update of headlines with Liz Kern in the KMJ newsroom.
KMJ News now.
Louisiana is cleaning up after as many as 15 tornadoes touched down across the state Wednesday. At least 3 deaths are being blamed on the tornadoes, and 40,000 customers there are left without power. David Shepard, the Republican candidate who lost the race for the Valley's 16th state Senate district to Democrat Melissa Hurtado, has now filed for a recount. KBAK's Celine Stevens has the story.
My race is within a 20-vote margin. I believe it's necessary because it is so tight, and there are some questions that I think need further answering.
Those questions revolve around a few problems with the way certain counties under Senate District 16 handled their ballot counting, specifically Fresno and Kern County. Shepard claims that Kern County elections reported they possessed 10,000 ballots fewer than what they actually had. Tuesday, during the Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, Auditor-Controller Mary Bedard addressed this concern.
These are estimates. In total, we received over 169,000 vote-by-mail envelopes. We don't actually get a count of these until you begin processing them.
It's the Bank of England's turn to raise interest rates. With your world headlines, ABC's Tom Rivers is in London.
Britain's central bank has raised its key interest rate again, up a half point to 3.5%. The governor of the Bank of England, Andrew Bailey.
I know that higher interest rates have a real impact on people's lives. But by raising interest rates, we can bring inflation down sooner and help the economy begin to grow and prosper once more.
It's the highest interest rates have been in the UK in 14 years. A ship that will serve as one of Germany's floating terminals for liquefied natural gas imports has arrived, as officials warn the country's not saving enough energy. And the European Union's Parliament has voted to suspend work on all files involving Qatar, and has called for security passes for representatives of the Gulf countries' interests to be withdrawn for the time being, amid corruption allegations. I'm Tom Rivers at the ABC News Foreign Desk in London.
Kelly Clarkson got into the holiday spirit on her show yesterday, giving everyone in her studio audience an all-expense-paid trip to Hawaii. The talk show host has been running viewers through her holiday gift guide all week long. Lucky them. On Wall Street, the Dow ended down 764 points. 2:32 at KMJ. Valley weather right now, partly sunny, currently 54 at Radio City. Fox 26's Christina Lopez has a check of our Thursday forecast.
Good Thursday afternoon. We're tracking a freeze warning in effect through Monday, 7 a.m. with overnight and early morning temperatures between 25 and 32 degrees. Looking back at rain totals from the valley's recent storm, Fresno received close to 200ths of an inch of rain. In Madera, 700ths of an inch. In Yosemite, nearly 2.5 inches of snowfall. In Visalia, 1900ths of an inch of rain. And in Three Rivers, you saw over 1.5 inches of rainfall. Right here in the Fresno area, a high of 54 with mostly sunny skies, a low of 35 with patchy fog and frost. At the Fox 26 Weather Center, I'm Christina Lopez for KMJ News. Make it a great afternoon.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Liz Kern, News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Thank you, Liz. We have a problem on Bryant Road at Millerton. There was an accident. The vehicle hit a power pole. Power pole came down, blocking the road. And they thought they were going to get this thing taken care of, but now it's going to be at least 8 hours, according to PG&E, before they can get this road back open. And now the latest thing is CHP is turning cars around. So Bryant Road at Millerton Road is an area to avoid completely for the next few hours. We'll keep you updated if there's any change. Next update, 2:47. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
This report is sponsored by SaveOurWater.com. Did you know fixing outdoor leaks can save 27 to 90 gallons of water per day? Even tiny leaks can be huge water wasters. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more water-saving tips. Let's all do our part. Save water. Save California.
J.C. Lansdowne. That is a name that practically everybody in ag knows. For sure. And you probably know that J.C. Lansdowne delivers quality carb gasoline and diesel fuels, but also a full line of Phillips 66, specifically the Heritage 76 branded lubricants. And when you need it, they also sell and distribute bulk packaged oils, gear lubes, and more to dairymen, farmers, ranchers, transportation, and municipalities in Tulare, Kings, Fresno, and Kern counties. The point needs to be made. The J.C. Lansdowne delivers gasoline and diesel, but also oils in bulk and package. Everything from quarts to gallons to pails to quarter drums to 55-gallon drums and even more bulk. The point is, for over 4 generations, they've been doing it all, and nobody does it better in the field or elsewhere. J.C. Lansdowne, the largest supplier of Phillips 66 Heritage 76 lubricants in the Central Valley. You order it, and J.C. Lansdowne will bring it to you wherever you are. Fuel or lubricants, J.C. Lansdowne always delivers.
Ad paid for by Montreal Drugstore. Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. PowerPill allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 per pill? Call today and get 50 Viagra pills for only $99. This could cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call this if you want Viagra at the lowest prices. Never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 per pill. Call 800-204-0017 today to save up to $500 and get 50 pills for just $99. PowerPill is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-204-0017 to take your call now. Call 800-204-0017. That's 800-204-0017. Again, 800-204-0017.
This report is sponsored by In-N-Out Burger.
At In-N-Out, our hamburgers are made with the highest quality ingredients, made fresh and by hand, made with a smile, and made to order just for you.
Commercial Radiator, your full-service repair shop for large industrial radiators, ag equipment, or to keep your fleet on the road. That's Commercial Radiator.
It's Allbritton's complete furnace revitalization.
Makes your heater blow like it's young again for just $129.
Online at allbritain.com.
You're worried about the economy. Inflation is high. Your paycheck doesn't cover as much as it used to. And we live under the threat of a looming recession. And sure, you're doing okay, but you could be doing better.
The Afford Anything podcast explains the economy and the market, detailing how to make wise choices on the way you spend and invest.
Afford Anything talks about how to avoid common pitfalls, how to refine your mental models, and how to think about how to think.
Make smarter choices and build a better life.
Afford Anything, wherever you listen.
Now, the Valley's Afternoon Drive with Philip Teresi. Your calls, your tweets, and your voice are welcome.
2:38 on your afternoon drive. I'm Philip Teresi. It is News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ. Very pleased to welcome back to the show ABC News correspondent in Washington, Andy Field. Andy, thanks for joining us again. Good afternoon.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, we're talking TikTok today. A lot of your listeners probably have those apps on their phones, on their iPads, on their computers. But governments increasingly do not want them on their workers' computers, especially if they're connected to any government mainframe or any government information that can get out to the world, because they are fearing TikTok's Chinese connections could create spying situations where they're getting the information off those servers and putting them into Chinese hands where they worry nefarious things could happen. So yesterday, Josh Hawley in the Senate put up a bill to ban the use of TikTok on any federal government device. It passed overwhelmingly in the Senate. The House is still thinking about it. Nancy Pelosi's been a little coy about this, as to why or she would or would not do this. And, of course, the White House hasn't said much on it either. Donald Trump tried to get TikTok banned completely in the United States because of these security concerns. At least 3 states have already done this, and this is only, again, for government computers, not for the rest of us. So Maryland, Texas, and now Utah, I think today, came out and said, look, we're not going to have this on there. And these are, by the way, all Republican governors, although I'm not sure that the Democrats have any argument otherwise. Here's the problem. The rest of us are still busy TikToking away. Everyone's got it on their devices. If it's a security risk for the government, I would assume it would be a security risk for our data on our own phones, but most people are just enjoying TikTok, and they don't seem to be too concerned about that.
Andy, this is one of those stories where I feel hope because I see the government doing the right thing and not letting, but it might make somebody mad somewhere on the other side of the world. I agreed with Donald Trump wanting to ban TikTok, not because I think that we should have the government controlling social media, but because based on my own reading, TikTok's basically really, really, really attractive spyware. Was this act introduced by Senator Hawley based on good information from IT people, or is this a case of that stopped clock being right twice a day and they just realized, oh my God, it's bad news?
It could be a little both. I don't know. I don't know enough about the IT or the security implications. I've read the reports that seem to indicate that a lot of well-respected security folks are pretty concerned about the security breaches within TikTok and the fact that the app seems to be able to spy on stuff. TikTok insists it's not doing that. But frankly, almost every device is spying on you these days. If you look at Google search, you search for something on YouTube or Facebook or any place, and instantly, within seconds, you're getting ads for those types of things. So, to say that our data isn't being mined and used for their profit is, a bit ridiculous. Of course it is. Are they getting your private information? That's a whole other question that we don't know. There's certainly ways to get yourself into a virtual private network, and there are ways to protect your data online, but most people don't do it. And certainly we've seen breaches of government computers that have been very costly to various governments, and that's why the federal government and some of these states are trying to put these restrictions in place.
Andy, in Senator Hawley's version of this act, you said all federal employees, all federal computers. Am I correct in assuming that includes everything in the military as well? This isn't just the IRS. This is also the Army, the Navy, the Marines, right?
Yeah, let's see here. It says unanimous consent approved. No TikTok on Government Devices Act. So I would imagine it's any government devices. But then the bigger question is, why would military folks be TikToking? Why would the IRS be doing little funny dances on TikTok and sending them out to the world?
I agree with you. It seems insane that some revenue officers sitting at their desk TikToking when they should be going through over people's paperwork. But I also have to admit that we live in a world of human beings, and sometimes people get goofy on their lunch break.
It's not just their lunch break they're getting goofy, but yeah, I agree with you on that.
So you mentioned that in the House there wasn't this immediate joyful embrace of this act, and Nancy Pelosi's not talking about it. Do you see any dissent coming from within the ranks? Is this something that's going to get pushed through with or without the Speaker's tacit approval? Or can she hit the brakes on this thing?
Nothing gets through the House without the Speaker saying, yeah, the bill's going to go to the floor. That's number one. She says, we're considering it. We're thinking about it. I got a feeling there's not going to be any urgency with everything else that the House has to do right now in terms of budget passing in the next week, that this thing is going to come to the forefront immediately, not with Democrats in control. But I would bet that as soon as the Republicans take over, those will be one of the first things that comes to the floor for a vote. And then it's a question of, is Joe Biden going to sign it? I don't know if he will. We'll see.
Has there been any public reaction to Hawley's act as yet from ByteDance or from the Chinese government in general?
Well, from TikTok, they keep saying that, no, we are just vastly misunderstood. We're not sharing information with the Chinese government. This is all wrong. This is a useful tool. The typical things you would expect to hear from TikTok.
I understand they're saying that, and all I can think of is the parable of the snake. The story of the old woman finding the injured snake on the side of the road and picking it up and taking it home and caring for it and nursing it back to health. And one night she goes to place a bowl of water in front of it, and the snake bites her hand, and she says, "Why? Why would you do that? I was so kind." And he says, "Lady, you knew what I was when you picked me up."
Well, that's true. I mean, then again, just going back to, that's pretty much with all social media. If you there's reasons people clear their browser search and all kinds of other things because they don't want people to find out about it. And yet the fact is that most of that private stuff you think is private is out there in the public.
Andy, as a journalist and as a person who obviously has to maintain a level of confidentiality in the course of your workday, do you find yourself either maintaining a separate device for social media, or have you stepped away, or are you just going to accept that Facebook's going to know what Andy Field ate for lunch this week?
Well, I don't really post my lunch at the dinner sometimes, but not lunch. Certainly at ABC, we have pretty strict guidelines in terms of quarantining stuff. We're told don't open things with attachments. We've got a pretty sophisticated IT system that screens a lot of stuff that comes in here and evaluates spam and possible viruses. So we're protected that way. And even when we use our personal devices for company email, they have done a pretty good job of blocking off any kind of outside influence into these apps. So, but this is a major corporation, and I'm sure we're not alone.
Oh no.
In worrying about these types of things, especially with viruses and attacks and cyber attacks that could bring an entire company to its knees if these folks want to ransom something off. So yeah, it's a really serious concern, and I don't think that there is that this is overblown, that these governments are saying, yeah, we're concerned about TikTok. And TikTok doesn't seem to be doing much in terms of opening up its software to prove to people that, no, those fears are unfounded.
No, sir, they are not. Andy, I appreciate the information as always. Thank you for making time for us.
All right, take care.
That's Andy Field, ABC News Washington correspondent, on the No TikTok on Government Devices Act. A very good idea from Senator Josh Hawley that, for reasons that neither Andy Field nor I can understand, other than the obvious that the House of Representatives is busy fast-tracking the Biden agenda before the end of the session, Nancy Pelosi doesn't want to move on this thing. And that bothers me a lot because Hawley's right about this. And frankly, Donald Trump was right about this. And without losing sight of what Andy said about social media and search engines in general and the data collection that they all engage in, this is different because this isn't Mark Zuckerberg selling information about your interests and your shopping habits to people who want to advertise to you. This is a hostile foreign government who has access to an incredible amount of information based on what this app requires access to when you install it on your device. Hawley got this one right, and I hope Pelosi figures it out before the end of the session. It's the Afternoon Drive at News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ. When we get back, we'll talk about the algorithmic behavior of TikTok as it relates to its number one audience, teenage girls. You're not going to like this. It's KMJ.
Blue Christmas.
Things are kind of in a standstill on North Bryant at Millerton. What has happened is a couple hours ago, a vehicle hit a power pole. Power pole came down and the road was blocked. And they thought that PG&E could get out there real easy once the car was removed and take care of business. Well, it's going to be at least 8 hours before that's going to happen due to some other complications. So now they're just turning traffic around at North Bryant and Millerton, and the road is blocked and it's a mess. So just steer clear of there, and we'll keep you updated. Next update, 3:03. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
This report is sponsored by In-N-Out Burger.
At In-N-Out, our hamburgers are made with the highest quality ingredients, made fresh and by hand, made with a smile, and made to order just for you.
We open your doors, provide a touchless experience, and keep you safe. And we've done so for over 43 years. We are Fact Automated Entrances at your service. Founded in 1979 by Carrie Abbott, Fact Automated Entrances sells, installs, and maintains the doors that open automatically for convenience stores, retail, schools, and office buildings. Fact also sells, installs, and maintains commercial manual storefront doors, commercial electric gates for apartment complexes, gated communities, and business centers. Although Carrie has retired, The next generation, his daughter and son-in-law, now own the company, providing Central Valley businesses the same products and excellent service. If you work in a secured building, Fact installs those card read systems too. If you're looking to install motion sensor doors, a commercial security gate, or a state-of-the-art card key system, contact Fact Automated Entrances at 559-495-3228 or visit them at autodoor.com. You don't have to search outside the area for modern conveniences. Call the Central Valley Original, Fact Automated Entrances.
Dinosaur angry, must stay in cold cave. Me fix that. What it is? Fire? Warm. Here, take picture of me in fire. There. Where picture? Right here on tiny screen. No, where's print? No print. Digital camera. Got no print. Got no picture. Here, I draw it on wall for you. No more room. I want professional print. From where? This Stone Age. Turn on radio.
Visit Horn Photo because we can make beautiful prints from your phone or camera.
Horn Photo. Okay, go get prints at Horn Photo, then stop by river. Why stop by river? Your loincloth on fire.
Visit us today at hornphoto.com or our beautiful store in the Villaggio, Blackstone and East next to Sierra Nut House. Got the picture?
This is Christina Musan. I am having the best sleep thanks to the Design Studio by Furniture City. I was shopping for furniture when I mentioned that my neck hurt because I was having trouble with the pillow on my bed. The Design Studio carries a full line of Tempur-Pedic. The pillow is like butter. I know my next bed is Tempur-Pedic. Check out the extensive Tempur-Pedic line at the Design Studio by Furniture City in the former Osh building at Blackstone and Barstow in Fresno.
The elves at Willow Gardens Nursery have been busy as they've stocked their holiday boutique with one-of-a-kind Christmas gifts, Christmas floral, ribbon, ornaments, and beautiful Christmas decor. Located at Willow and International in Clovis, Willow Gardens also has what your garden needs with an incredible selection of winter shrub and trees like gardenias, camellias and azaleas, or Korean sun pear trees and purple hopseed bush. Get in the spirit this holiday season and shop Willow Gardens. Open 7 days a week, they deliver, plus they give 10% off for veterans and seniors. Some exclusions may apply.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1979. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1979. That's 800-777-1979. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
Live, local, on it. News Talk 580 1059 KMJ.
KMJ.
And always streaming at KMJNow.com.
Rolling up on 3 o'clock on your afternoon drive. It is News Talk 580 1059 KMJ. I'm Philip Teresi. Glad to be back. Thank you again to Blake Taylor for picking up the slack for me yesterday afternoon and jumping in live at 4 o'clock on just not enough notice. Appreciate him making sure that your drive home was not totally stale. Phones are open at 490-5858, 800-776-5858. So we've got a test conducted by the Center for Countering Digital Hate that specifically looks at the behavior of TikTok when presented the opportunity to display content to 13-year-olds, young girls, and you're going to be surprised and probably more than a little bit upset about how the algorithm over at TikTok is programmed to behave. We'll also talk about their pushback. But I just wanted to point out, because I was talking with Andy Field from ABC News a minute ago about this No TikTok on Government Devices Act introduced by Senator Josh Hawley. Something that I think was a smart move, if perhaps a little short of the mark that at one time President Trump had suggested, which was just banning TikTok in the United States. I still think that that's the right thing to do. And I know that with all of the freaking out and all of the hand-wringing over what's going on over at Twitter and what we are discovering about Twitter, that seems counterintuitive to the promotion of free speech. But a company that is data harvesting hand over fist, that is controlled by the Chinese Communist government, is not the same thing as a bunch of dopes in Silicon Valley making an executive decision at a weird time in our nation's history. One of the things that I wanted to point out about Hawley's act, I believe that it is always in the best interest of the American people to understand the law under which they operate. And I believe that it is an unfortunate habit of lawyers and legislators to dive deep into legal vernacular to the point where what they have created becomes unreadable to a layperson. And in this case, Josh Hawley gave us one page. And there's a little set of definitions describing covered application, meaning TikTok or any app owned or developed by ByteDance Limited. Executive agency, meaning what they define an executive agency as in Section 133 of Title 41 of the United States Code, and information technology as it is described in Title 40 of the United States Code. And then this says simply, in general, not later than 60 days after the date of the enactment of this act, the director of the Office of Management and Budget, in consultation with the administrator of the General Services Agency, the director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, the director of National Intelligence, and the Secretary of Defense, and consistent with the information security requirements under Subchapter 2, Chapter 35 of Title 44 United States Code, shall develop standards and guidelines for executive agencies requiring the removal of any covered application from information technology. In other words, in 60 days after this act is passed, you will take TikTok off of everything and keep it off of everything. He then lays out a couple of exceptions for research and law enforcement purposes. You know that you're not getting jerked around when you can sit down and read and understand this thing in 3 minutes. So we'll talk about what these researchers from the Center for Countering Digital Hate encountered. So this is an organization that I think, I don't know a lot about them, but a name like that, I'm going to guess that a lot of their energy has been put into chasing down anti-Semitism and racism and that sort of thing online. They decided to take a look at TikTok and how it interacts with teenagers, especially young teenage girls. And if young teenage girls go looking for certain content, what does TikTok offer them? It's pretty wild. We'll talk about it after the news on the Afternoon Drive on KMJ.
Missed part of the show? Get the Afternoon Drive podcast at KMJNow.com or by searching KMJ's Afternoon Drive in Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Will you be traveling to see family and friends this holiday season? There's an updated COVID-19 vaccine that helps protect against the newer variants. If you are older or have a chronic condition, you are at greater risk. If it's been more than 2 months since your last shot or 3 months since you had COVID, you should get the shot. It's easy and free to you. Learn more at covidvaccineproject.org. That's covidvaccineproject.org.
Oh, wait until you see it. Lou Rodman's Patio Barstool and Amish Emporium. This place is probably 3 times bigger than the old one. Where is it? Right across the street from Lowe's, next to Fashion Furniture. You know where that is. Lou has just taken in a brand new shipment of what you call Ray's Rockers, the Amish rocking chair that I'm in love with. Lou says you come through the door of the new place and you say, all right, where is it? I want one of Ray's Rockers. I live in mine from the time I get off the air at home until when I go to bed. And one thing Lou has not been able to get for a year year, but he's got them now. Outdoor bar stools. You've been screaming for them. He's got a massive selection from the floor to the ceiling at the new location. Wait until you see the new Amish handmade entertainment centers. Beautiful Amish bedroom sets. And for the big shot, the handmade Amish desks for your office. These are beyond magnificent. Lou Rodman's brand new patio bar stool and Amish Emporium. You'll find items up to 50% off in every department. You know why? It's the end of the year sale going on right now.
As a California grower, you understand how essential water is to your crops. With Talatay by Valagro, you can increase crop water productivity. When applied to soil via irrigation, Talatay helps crops maximize water use by increasing the uptake of water and conserving water content inside plant tissue. Despite less than adequate water in the soil, crops can continue healthy growth and support high yields under water deficits. Visit valagrousa.com or call 559-287-7724 to learn more. Talatay, the value of every single drop.
News Talk 580 AM 1059 FM KMJ Fresno, a Cumulus Media station.
KMJ.
It's 3 o'clock in Fresno. I'm Joe Miller in the KMJ News Center. This news update sponsored by Best Concrete Blocks, the old Fresno company with new ideas. Fresno police officials said the brother of the pregnant woman killed and set on fire has been arrested. Authorities say 41-year-old Aaron Dudley is accused of stabbing 26-year-old Nikaya to death. Officials said they saw a suspicious person push a garbage bin to a dirt road and light it on fire. Authorities said maintenance workers found the victim Tuesday near an apartment complex near Cornelia and Parkway. The investigation continues. Fresno police looking for a man they say attempted a smash and grab robbery at a Macy's in Fresno Wednesday. KMJ's Liz Kern has the details.
Police were first called to Orloff Jewelers on Shaw and Palm Wednesday morning. Employees saw a man in a green sweatshirt, a beanie, shorts, and a face mask hanging around a jewelry case. They thought he was going to smash the case, but he left before police arrived. A short time later, a man matching the description with a hammer tried several times to smash the glass of a jewelry case at the Macy's at Fashion Fair Mall at First and Shaw. He was unsuccessful and ran out of the store. Police say if you have any information on this suspect, call them or Crime Stoppers at 498-STOP. Liz Kern, KMJ News.
Multiple people hurt after a collision between a car and a school bus in an area south of Mendota. CHP said the crash happened on Highway 33 and Pinocchi Road. Passenger and a driver of the vehicle taken to the hospital. Multiple passengers on the bus had minor injuries. They were taken to medical facilities by their parents. A former white police officer who shot and killed a black woman inside of her home after seeing her with a gun through a window has been convicted in Texas. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
Black women matter.
Black women matter.
Black women
Outside of the courtroom, chants in support of the jury's decision. Former Fort Worth police officer Aaron Dean convicted of manslaughter for killing a Tatiana Jefferson, a black woman who was in her home more than 3 years ago. Dean shot her while responding to a call about an open front door. The verdict announced.
We, the jury, find the defendant Aaron York Dean guilty of the offense of manslaughter.
Former Officer Dean now faces up to 20 years in prison. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Now the forecast from Fox 26's Christina Lopez.
Good Thursday afternoon. We are seeing freezing temperatures across the valley with the freeze warning in effect through Monday, 7 a.m. with overnight and early morning temperatures hovering between 25 and 32 degrees. Right here in the Fresno area, a high of 54 with mostly sunny skies, a low of 35. At the Fox 26 Weather Center, I'm Christina Lopez. For KMJ News, make it a safe day.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Joe Miller for News Talk 580, 1059 KMJ.
In Fresno on Millerton Road, right by the Millerton Lake main entrance, is a closed road because of an earlier accident, vehicle in a power pole. Power pole's on the ground, and it's going to be a while. Probably at least, according to PG&E, several hours before this road is going to be open. They're turning cars around as they get in the area, so just avoid it. And that way you won't have to deal with it. And we'll keep you posted if there are any changes. But so far, it looks like it's going to be a while. At Millerton Road, Millerton Lake entrance, it is closed. Next update, 3:17. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so have your camera ready when they unwrap your gift from Ara Carcasian Jewelers.
Stop by our showroom for the best selection and value of jaw-dropping, eye-sparkling gifts.
Ara Carcasian Watch and Jewelry Company, Bullard and West.
Teresi Takes You Home on News Talk 580 1059 KMJ.
3:05. It is News Talk 580 and 1059 KMJ. Hour 2 of your afternoon drive begins now. On the way, we are going to be talking with Flint Anderson from the group called PAIN. It's Parents and Addicts in Need. We have another horrifying fentanyl story. Fortunately, in this story, ultimately, the police officer who suffered a life-threatening fentanyl overdose while on the job was rescued. She was administered Narcan, and she's going to be okay. But I want to talk about accessing Narcan. I want to talk about the fentanyl epidemic, and I can't think of anybody better equipped to help us understand the threat and the ways in which we can meet it than Flint Anderson with PAIN. That's going to be on the way in the 4 o'clock hour. This hour, I'll talk with Alex Stone, another ABC News correspondent. Alex and I are going to talk about schools going to 4-day weeks. There's a school district in Missouri that just signed off on this 4-day school weeks. And straight up, it's about attracting and retaining teachers. The scratch isn't there to pay more, and this is an amenity that is being offered. And it seems popular with the teachers. We'll find out how it's being received and perceived when we talk to Alex Stone from ABC News later this hour. We were talking about TikTok earlier, and you may have heard Appleton talking about the TikTok algorithm, the algorithm. In short, if you don't know what an algorithm is, it's the program. It's the language that tells an app or a website how to behave. And it has these programs have become incredibly sophisticated. So once upon a time, you would have to sit down and enter an if-then series of commands and responses into a database. It was very, very tedious. That's why every stereotype about computer nerds shows the guy with Coke bottle glasses, because it's true. And once upon a time, these programs, they were very simple. Everything was if then, if then, if then, if then. And there was no intelligence, which was why you could run up against. Never forget my mom trying to install a Logitech 3-button rollerball mouse on our very first home computer. And my mom's not a dumb person at all. And she could not get this mouse to take. The computer would not recognize it. And she pursued everything in the directions. And she finally called a friend of ours, a man who did very well as a computer programmer, who was married to a very, very high-level network administrator. There isn't anybody in the world more qualified than these two people to guide her through this process. And I will never forget her sitting in the family room in front of this computer, and it was the old DOS screen, 10.3 commands. And she's exhausted, and she's frustrated, and she's feeling stupid through no fault of her own. And she's got this computer programmer the guy was brilliant. The guy was absolutely brilliant. And he has walked her through everything he knows. And I just remember walking in and hearing Bob say to my mother, I want you to type in a 7-letter combination. And I'm not going to give you the 7-letter combination because I can't, because it started with an F and it ended with U, followed by the command POPDOS. We've come a long, 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 long way since then. But when people talk about algorithms, they're really talking about computer programs. And when you take it all the way back to ground zero, the algorithms are written by people. There is intent in how these things are constructed. So even when now, in the incredibly advanced, relatively speaking, type of computing that these algorithms facilitate, when you go all the way back to what started it, a human being sat down and told that algorithm how to behave. And so when the Center for Countering Digital Hate conducted a study earlier this year, they set up new accounts that appeared to be in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia. They set these accounts to appear to be 13-year-old girls. Half of the accounts, they got deemed vulnerable by the researchers. The other half were deemed standard, meaning that the content and the personalities represented on the accounts were deliberately made to look like young girls, young teen girls who were interested in the loss of weight. As a matter of fact, they used the term lose weight in the usernames of the vulnerable accounts. And so the Center for Countering Digital Hate logged on to TikTok, and they said for each account, they recorded the first 30 minutes of algorithmically recommended content on each account's For You feed. They would watch and then they would like any videos about body image, mental health, or eating disorders. The results were then analyzed to determine the frequency of recommendations for body image, mental health, self-harm, and eating disorder content. And according to the researchers' findings, once TikTok's algorithm kicked in, meaning once they had interacted with the app enough that it had an idea of what these accounts might be interested in, might be looking for, those vulnerable accounts were recommended 3 times as many harmful videos and 12 times as many self-harm videos as were standard accounts. The first content about eating disorders popped up within 8 minutes. On the standard accounts, content about suicide surfaced as early as 2.6 minutes into the account interacting with TikTok. The researchers found that the harmful content that TikTok recommended to the vulnerable accounts was more extreme than the content shown to the standard teen accounts. They said an increase in videos about eating disorders was accompanied by an increase in self-harm and suicide content. This included so-called finspiration posters, in other words, mentally ill anorexic and bulimics promoting it as a lifestyle choice. It promoted videos that included information about methods to self-harm. And it included videos of teens discussing, it is disgusting, but teens discussing plans to commit suicide. The CEO of the Center for Countering Digital Hate, Amran Ahmed, says the results are, quote, every parent's nightmare. Now, when ABC News reached out to TikTok, ByteDance Inc. immediately pushed back, saying, this activity and resulting experience does not reflect genuine behavior or viewing experiences of real people. We regularly consult with health experts, remove violations of our policies, and provide access to supportive resources for anybody in need. Bull. So ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, reiterates that content about disordered eating and similar topics violates the app's community guidelines and is taken down once identified by its keyword detection systems or it's flagged by community members. They also say that they work with partners like the National Eating Disorders Association to provide resources to users, for instance, directing anybody searching for self-harm or eating disorders to the 988 suicide crisis line. The fact that it is not just, and that's a big just, the fact that this program is not just collecting data at a rate that would make Mark Zuckerberg blanch, but that it is actively promoting harmful content to teenagers, while the people responsible for public relations for the parent company stand there going, nuh-uh, we give them the phone number for the National Suicide Hotline if they search for that kind of thing. I said it earlier when we talked with Andy Field. I know that in an environment where we are all reacting with mixed degrees of concern and disgust at the revelations of how Twitter has behaved towards moderating content, the strange parsing that they've engaged in regarding shadow banning. I know it's a strange thing to say we need to shut this thing down. We need to shut this thing down. Josh Hawley's act, while absolutely a step in the right direction. And again, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, is derelict in her duty if she does not put that act on the agenda for the House. You and I, we have a responsibility to go to our kids' stuff. And I'm not suggesting that we dig through and completely destroy our children's ability to enjoy any privacy or any of the silly, fringy things that you and I all kind of engaged in when we were young. It is a different world. It is a different level of technology. And this stuff is getting pumped into your kids' heads by a company controlled by a government that hates you and hates them. I can't overemphasize it. TikTok is bad for America, and it is, worst of all, dangerous for our kids. And I know it seems harmless, doesn't it? It just people being silly, having fun, dancing to videos, telling stories. And all I can think, and it almost makes me laugh out loud to say it, God almighty, we'd all be a lot safer back on Facebook or Instagram. It's the Afternoon Drive at News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ on the way. 4-day school weeks. They're catching on. Missouri has just passed a 4-day school week for one of their bigger districts. Is it going to make its way to California? And is it the best thing for kids and families? Or is there a compromise in play here to try and attract and retain folks who are thinking about bailing on teaching? It's the Afternoon Drive at News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ. Phones are open for your calls, 490-5858 or 800-776-5858.
In Fresno, northbound 41 at Shields, kind of between Shields and Ashland to be exact, there is a collision that has just occurred on the on-ramp. And Millerton, just east of Millerton Lake entrance, the road is closed. They're turning cars back. There is a PG&E pole in the roadway. Next update is 3:33. It's Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
This report is sponsored by In-N-Out Burger.
At In-N-Out, our hamburgers are made with the highest quality ingredients, made fresh and by hand, made with a smile, and made to order just for you.
Buildings Unlimited will be celebrating 20 years serving Central California and the West Side.
Buildings Unlimited, specializing in concrete tilt warehousing, cold storage, processing facilities, and commercial pre-engineered metal buildings. Buildings Unlimited is your single point of contact from design to the completion, proudly featuring new core steel, manufactured in the USA. Buildings Unlimited, where the only limit is your imagination. Call our experienced team for a free consultation at 559-485-9948 or visit us at buildingsunlimited.net.
Do you have a foodie on your shopping list this Christmas? Consider a gift from Vari Olive Oil. Extra virgin olive oil, flavor-infused oils, gourmet foods, gift baskets. There's plenty to choose from at Vari's gift shop. Vari offers a healthy alternative when it comes to gift giving. Vari Olive Oil Company's gift shop and tasting room is open Monday through Friday, 9 till 4:30, and Saturdays from 9 till 3. Online at varioliveoil.com or call 595-9260 for more info.
When we transferred to Personal Express Insurance, we actually saved over $400 and for better coverage.
Since 1984, Personal Express Insurance has been known throughout the Central Valley for their great rates. But their customers come with them and stay with them for what they like to call their local advantage.
I would have been happy just breaking out even because of the personal and the local advantage. But when we saved money, that was impressive. We like that.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Peralta, President of Personal Express Insurance. In these uncertain times, we want to assure you that our local agents are available to discuss your insurance needs. Everyone, please stay safe and stay healthy.
Call 559-256-1090. With offices in Fresno, in the Fig Garden Village, in Clovis in the Buchanan Crossroads, and in Visalia in the Visalia Pavilion. Or go to expressinsurance.com for a fast, free quote.
Would we recommend Personal Express Insurance? Absolutely.
Save Mart has huge savings on all your holiday needs, from food and gifts to Christmas trees and decor. It's a lot of merry for a lot less. Right now, USDA choice beef ribeye roast whole bone-in is $5.99 a pound. And Dungeness crab clusters are $7.99 a pound. Pick up select Pepsi, 7-Up, Coke, and Polar 12-packs or Rockstar Energy 4-packs. Buy 2, get 3 free of equal or lesser value. Eat, drink, and save at Save Mart.
We open your doors, provide a touchless experience, and keep you safe. And we've done so for over 43 years. We are Fact Automated Entrances at your service. Founded in 1979 by Carrie Abbott, Fact Automated Entrances sells, installs, and maintains the doors that open automatically for convenience stores, retail, schools, and office buildings. Fact also sells, installs, and maintains commercial manual storefront doors, commercial electric gates for apartment complexes, gated communities, and business centers. Although Carrie has retired, the next generation, his daughter and son-in-law, now own the company, providing Central Valley businesses the same products and excellent service. If you work in a secured building, Fact installs those card read systems too. If you're looking to install motion sensor doors, a commercial security gate, or a state-of-the-art card key system, contact Fact Automated Entrances at 559-495-3228 or visit them at autodoor.com. You don't have to search outside the area for modern conveniences. Call the Central Valley Original, Fact Automated Entrances.
Think you have a good reason for not donating blood?
Oh, other people are donating enough.
Fact, 40% of the U.S. population is eligible to donate blood, yet less than 5% actually do. And there's a constant need for new, fresh blood to help save lives. There's no excuse for not helping make sure that the Central California Blood Center always has an adequate supply of blood available for your family, friends, and neighbors. Be the bigger person. Go to donateblood.org now to make an appointment.
You're worried about the economy. Inflation is high. Your paycheck doesn't cover as much as it used to. And we live under the threat of a looming recession. And sure, you're doing okay, but you could be doing better.
The Afford Anything podcast explains the economy and the market, detailing how to make wise choices on the way you spend and invest.
Afford Anything talks about how to avoid common pitfalls, how to refine your mental models, and how to think about how to think.
Make smarter choices and build a better life.
Afford Anything, wherever you listen.
There's something stuck up in the chimney and I don't know what it is, but it's been there all night long. Well, I waited up for Santa all Christmas night, but he never came and it don't seem right that there's something in the chimney and it doesn't make a sound, but I wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's the afternoon drive at News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ. Phones open at 490-5858 and toll free 800-776-5858. And we will be talking with Alex Stone from ABC News here in just a couple of minutes about this change that is coming. Yet another school district is switching to a 4-day week for teachers and students. Could be a way to promote teacher and staff retention, but there's a lot of moving parts in this thing. Right now, though, talking about TikTok, and I think that Josh Hawley got it right, moving to ban TikTok on all government devices. I also think President Trump had it right, moving to either have TikTok moved into the control of a American company or ban TikTok outright, because it is... it's not good for us on a lot of levels. 490-5858. Robert's on the phone. Welcome back to KMJ, Robert. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my phone call. I just feel like TikTok is a very toxic, yet attractive means for our children's attention.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's not the only thing that's out there for coming at our children. No, I think there's a lot of things coming at our children. It just seems like when you look at it, our children's future is really at jeopardy. And I don't mean to make a long stretch here, but if you even take how our children go to college and have to take out loans and just the burdens that they have to endure, we're making it difficult for our children to be successful. And TikTok is just one means of coming at our kids.
Yeah, I don't have any argument with what you're saying at all. I guess my question, Robert, is you and I seem to be more or less on the same page regarding TikTok. I think that you and I are also, generally speaking, on the same page about just the sheer volume of garbage that is thrown at kids, both young and kids on their way to college right now. Where do we start with smoothing that runway so that our kids can successfully launch into adulthood? Is there some place other than TikTok and social media that you would have families and parents focus?
Well, the issue is, our society makes it difficult for families to be cohesive nowadays. I mean, parents are working extra hard. It's difficult to come together as a family. I don't know what that is. I think government has to be involved on some of this level of this, whether it's this is a very hard question to answer, and I admire you for asking that question, but I don't know if any one discipline is going to have that answer.
Yeah, for better or for worse, I agree with you. I don't think that there is a one-size-fit-all. I don't think there's a silver bullet. I do think that as you and I age, and as the millennials really start to fully come into parenthood, there is a greater degree of sophistication about life online and information technology as kind of a central thing in how we connect and communicate. And it's an experiential thing. Like I said, my mom's a very, very smart lady. She's perfectly capable of getting on her iPhone, getting on her computer, doing everything she needs to do. But she didn't grow up with it, so she doesn't understand it the way I do, having had it, as far back as grade school.
With the internet and everything, our world has grown to be huge. Our community, we're not meant to be, connected to how many billions of people there are in this world. We grown up in villages where they're small. They're more personable. We learn about how to treat each other. We learn how to relate to each other. We know each other. And now the internet, the social media have just complicated all of this, especially for our kids. it's coming at, I mean, there's so much coming at them from all directions, even in real life.
Yeah.
Just,
No, Robert,
it's hard, I think.
Your frustration and dismay with the sheer scope of the question is completely rational. It is completely reasonable. The social media and the internet has changed the way we interact and the way that we behave as human beings. And in some ways, it has made the world so much smaller. And in other ways, it has expanded the way that we socialize, gather information, and communicate in a way that, I mean, my friend, when I was doing Writer Rabbit on the Apple IIe at St. Simon's in 1986, if you had told me that someday I'd have a bar of glass in my pocket that allowed me to communicate with anybody in the world instantly and in real time, and to access the accumulated knowledge of the entirety of humanity by talking to a glass bar, I would have laughed at you. I would have said, no, you're talking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You're talking about Star Trek. That's not real. And now it's so real, it's mundane. And we're still learning. Robert, I appreciate the call. I got to run. We've got an update of headlines with Jim Miller in the KMJ newsroom. And when we get back, we are going to be joined by ABC News correspondent Alex Stone. We're going to talk about the kids, but we're going to talk about the kids spending a little less time in the classroom.
KMJ News now.
It's 3:30 in Fresno. I'm Jim Miller in the KMJ News Center. Domestic violence on the rise in Fresno County. Fresno Police Sergeant Marissa Jackson says there have been over 8,400 domestic violence reports so far this year, which is an increase from nearly 8,000 in 2021. The police department is working with Marjorie Mason Center to train officers how to talk to victims of abuse and handle these type of incidents. Suspects behind bars after crashing into an apartment building. That happened in Clovis. Police there say the driver slammed into a complex on Villa and Alamos shortly after midnight this morning. Officials say several residents were displaced. The building is unlivable. It follows the crash. The driver arrested on suspicion of DUI. School districts nationwide increasingly making the switch to 4-day weeks. Recently, schools in Arizona, Texas, and now Missouri doing it. ABC's Alex Stone explains why.
It's an attempt to stop teachers, bus drivers, and other school staff from giving up and leaving, implementing 4-day weeks as an incentive. Missouri's largest school district is the latest to do it. Independent School Superintendent Dr. Dale Hurl, just outside of Kansas City.
45% of teachers in Missouri leave the profession within their first 3 years of coming out of college.
Maybe not surprisingly, students seem to like the change, but for many parents, having a Monday or Friday of no school every week is tough if they can't work from home. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Now the forecast from Fox 26's Christina Lopez.
Good Thursday afternoon. We are seeing freezing temperatures across the valley with the freeze warning in effect through Monday, 7 a.m., with overnight and early morning temperatures hovering between 25 and 32 degrees. Right here in the Fresno area, a high of 54 with mostly sunny skies, a low of 35. At the Fox 26 Weather Center, I'm Christina Lopez. For KMJ News, make it a safe day.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Jim Miller for News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
In Fresno, northbound 41 at Shields, there is a collision on the on-ramp to northbound 41. Palm and Gettysburg, the scene of an injury accident, and northbound 99 near Clinton, a hit-and-run non-injury accident. Also keep in mind Millerton Road east of the entrance to Millerton Lake. The road is still closed. Next update, 347. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Some banks can make it complicated to redeem credit card rewards. But with Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in any amount at any time. Talk about amazing. Learn more at discover.com/redeem rewards. Terms apply.
Save Mart has huge savings on all your holiday needs, from food and gifts to Christmas trees and decor. It's a lot of merry for a lot less. Right now, USDA choice beef ribeye roast whole bone-in is $5.99 a pound. And Dungeness crab clusters are $7.99 a pound. Pick up select Pepsi, 7-Up, Coke, and Polar 12-packs or Rockstar Energy 4-packs. Buy 2, get 3 free of equal or lesser value. Eat, drink, and save at Save Mart.
I am a very happy camper because I get to tell you about the Noble Brothers Truck Accessory Center. Yeah, exactly the same place I was talking to you about 15, 20 years ago. Do you know this local company is 42 years old? 42 years dabbling with trucks. I think they know what they're doing. And right now, I need to address you people that have companies and you people who are farmers with fleet vehicles. This is an area where the Noble Brothers have really carved out their expertise. Whether it's cabinets, truck racks, ladder racks, toolboxes, van interiors, van shelving, and a lot of it. Remember, I use the F word, fleet. If you have fleet needs, you need the Noble Brothers Truck Accessory Center. 2 of them, one out in Sunnyside, the other one on Blackstone near Sierra. I got to know them when they turned a Jeep Wrangler of mine into a masterpiece, and I just got another Jeep. And they're doing it all over again. I can't wait for the finished product. Click nobletruck.com. Noble, N-O-B-I-L-E. If it's a pickup, a van, a Jeep, oh, even a fifth wheel, you totally need the Noble Brothers Truck Accessory Center since 1980.
Remember your first nice watch? Almost everyone does. Keep that tradition alive this year with a watch from Auric Carcasian Watch and Jewelry Company.
Beau Massier, Seiko Presage, pre-owned Rolex, and more.
Auric Carcasian Watch and Jewelry Company, northeast corner of Bullard and West.
Cumulus Radio in Fresno is looking to hire an account executive to represent our radio brands and digital platforms. If you have a background in marketing and advertising and have a passion for helping local businesses grow their footprint in our market, we may be a good fit for you. You will work directly with local clients and help diversify their marketing initiatives across various organized platforms. The ideal candidate will be creative, social media savvy, progressive digital mentality, and fun to work with. Please send your resume to General Sales Manager Melissa Del Carlo at melissa.delcarlo@cumulus.com. Cumulus Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Ad paid for by Montreal Drugstore. Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. PowerPill allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 per pill? Call today and get 50 Viagra pills for only $99. This could cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call this if you want Viagra at the lowest prices. Never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 per pill. Call 800-204-0017 today to save up to $500 and get 50 pills for just $99. PowerPill is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-204-0017 to take your call now. Call 800-204-0017. That's 800-204-0017. Again, 800-204-0017.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has tech gifts for everyone on your list at great prices. Right now at Staples, the new Apple AirPods Pro 2nd generation is just $199. You save $50. In-store only offer ends 12/17, limit 2. The latest tech gifts now at Staples, the working and learning store.
Now, the Valley's Afternoon Drive with Philip Teresi on News Talk 580 1059 KMJ.
Rolling through your 3 o'clock hour on the afternoon drive. I'm Philip Teresi, and this is News Talk 580 1059 KMJ. Joining us now, ABC News correspondent Alex Stone. Alex, welcome back, sir.
Hey, Philip. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Thank you. Hey, I understand that we are seeing a rash of shortened school weeks across the country. What's your opinion of this? Is this a teacher attraction and retention thing? Is this a academic enhancement thing?
Well, I mean, at least according to the school districts, they're saying this is 100% about trying to stop the bleeding of teachers, bus drivers, custodians, administrators, at least in like the local school office side of things, from them leaving, and that it has gotten really bad now. 24 states at least that are doing this, districts in those states, 1,600 schools, Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, now a lot of schools in Missouri, 140 districts in Missouri are doing it. Colorado has some now, switching to 4-day weeks. Some are doing Mondays off, some are doing Fridays off, kind of a mix of both. But the latest being Independence, Missouri, right outside of Kansas City, the largest school district in Missouri. They've decided they're going to do it because they cannot retain teachers. They've tried giving them more money. Still, they weren't going to get paid a ton, but more money. That didn't work. And instead of shutting down schools and shutting down classrooms, they say they don't have any choices. Parents, though, are saying, Philip, that this is really a mess for them if they can't work from home. And now a lot more parents do have that ability now than before the pandemic, that I mean, you look at any corporate campus, if somebody works for a large company, many of those campuses are still pretty empty, so that means a lot of people are working remotely. But not everybody can do that. This mom says she can't. She's going to be spending a lot of money every month to put her kids into daycare, and she doesn't like it.
Well, if I want to use the district services, I'm going to spend about $1,400 putting them in child care.
And police have their worries.
Kids are going to be out of school. That's one more day that parents are going to have to find daycare. While it's a benefit some ways, it may be a struggle other ways.
But we talked to the superintendent of independent schools in Missouri, Dr. Dale Hurl, and he says they're at a point they have no choice. This has been working with a lot of other districts, especially rural districts in the U.S., that it's keeping teachers in place when, just like any other business, you incentivize them by saying they'll have a 4-day work week, and he said so they have to do it.
Not about saving money, and I know that may be the case in some school districts. This is all about attracting and retaining staff.
And he says this is an epidemic at districts now nationwide, and they've got to stop the bleeding, and one way is you give them a shorter week, and that it's been working. So they're going to have fewer in-service days, slightly longer days by about 30 minutes on the days that they are in school, those 4 days, to make up for and equal out the number of hours of instruction. And he says
45% of teachers in Missouri leave the profession within their first 3 years of coming out of college. 55% leave the profession within 5 years.
Pretty incredible numbers, but he says this is about quality of life. Teachers are responding to it, saying, okay, this is a benefit that will keep them in the job. Kids seem to love it for, obvious reasons. I think we all would have loved it when we were in school if they would have said you're only going to go to school for 4 days a week. Parents mixed on it. Some are very for it. Some are very against it. But a lot more places are doing it. And I'm sure there are some in California, but this is primarily in more of the middle states where they say that otherwise they can't retain enough teachers to keep going. And so they're having to figure it out, and this is the way they're doing it.
I think that we learned really, really quickly when schools got shut down in the pandemic that along with, one would hope, providing children with an education, that it turns out that, to be totally honest about it, public schools especially really do provide a government-subsidized babysitting service so that, especially two-parent households, everybody can go to work. Is there, in any of these districts, in any of the folks that you've talked to, have the schools thought about having a day camp program to help offset that, or is this mostly, hey, if you need a babysitter, hire a babysitter? Yeah, well, it's a lot of that. They do have programs, but it's like that mom saying $1,400 a month for her kids, and so it won't be free. And this is something that the local school district is doing, and they don't have the money to subsidize that, and the state doesn't seem willing to do it. So. Yeah, I mean, it seems like kind of like during the pandemic, you figure it out, that it's up to you. What is surprising, though, is I just talked to somebody in St. Louis, and he's a dad and very much for it, where they're not doing it in St. Louis, but he has been a proponent of this for a very long time, saying that he thinks that it's a good thing for kids to go 4 days a week, incentivize the teachers, give the kids a little less stress over the weekend. So there are a lot of parents that actually support it, but there are the others that are saying no, that they got to work, and especially if you have young kids, how young can you allow them to be home if you got to go to work? If you have a teenager, that's one thing, but if you've got a 5-year-old, they can't be there alone, and that's a big deal for parents who they've got to work. Are you hearing anything from larger school districts? And I'm thinking of LAUSD, I'm thinking of Fresno Unified, I'm thinking of Cupertino Union. In those bigger districts, in those more urban areas, are you hearing anything from the unions or from the administration about a move in this direction to kind of follow Arizona, Texas, Missouri, and so on? No, nothing in California at this point. California did, or at least was discussing lowering what a work week is down to the amount of hours of a 4-day week. So, that could get involved in this. Somewhat surprisingly, this is in mainly conservative-run states that are doing this, and there is not a ton of backlash in those states. These are the same states that during the pandemic were so insistent on not shutting down schools and getting kids in the class. But this comes down to the reality of that a lot of them are in more
rural areas. We're not talking in Phoenix. It's more of the rural areas outside of the major cities in Arizona, not so much in Independence, Missouri, but in other areas of Missouri and Oklahoma and whatnot, where they just cannot attract teachers. So it is typically more rural areas are going to be more conservative areas. So they're kind of in a reality of the moment where they're saying, look, we want our kids in school, but they just financially cannot do it because they can't pay teachers enough to want to be there.
When you talk to the parents, because you're right that it is interesting that in these conservative areas, this is not catching pushback. Are you getting an impression that that's because now we have the technology that we can do things differently? Are you getting the impression that this might be tied to some of this activity we've seen with parents talking about schools need to be less involved in social education of our kids? Let me be the parent.
I think it's more just the reality of where they are, that they get it, that the schools are saying, we don't have the staff, and we're going to be shutting down schools or classrooms if we don't do this. And so it's kind of the check of, well, what is the other option? The other option is they go 5 days a week, and then your school gets shut down. It's kind of, there's no other option out there more than politics really around it. Whereas, and when we're talking about larger school districts, especially like L.A. or Fresno or anywhere else, that they've got the staffing to be able to do it. You could also argue that in a lot of California cities, especially larger cities, maybe not compared to other jobs in that city, but they pay more than in a lot of the real rural areas in the middle of the country for a teaching job. That teachers, it's not a lot that they make in California, and they don't make enough, but that they may be able to commute to somewhere into a more outside of the city area and be able to live. If a teacher in California is making, I don't even know, $75,000 a year, that's a lot more than they're probably making in rural Oklahoma. And it's all relative, but at least that it may be a livable wage if you don't live in the city when you're making that in California versus if you're making $25,000 in Oklahoma, even though you may be living in a lower cost of living area, still that's going to be hard to live off of, especially if you have a family.
Alex, do you anticipate this movement accelerating, or do you think that it's going to crash up against the urban boundaries and cool off soon?
It may be against the urban boundaries, but there are a lot more school districts in rural areas that say that they may have to do this. I mean, look, Independence outside of Kansas City, they say that they were looking at other districts and saying this is working, that they have seen that it retains teachers and has been very successful. So now you've got a larger district, the largest in Missouri, Independence, saying that they're doing it. If it works there, what would then stop an even larger district in a metro area to say it worked in Independence, it could work here as well? And so, I mean, at this point, it is growing. It is catching on rather rapidly. Nothing showing that the districts are going to say no, that they're going to go the other way.
Alex, I appreciate the time and the insight as always.
You got it. Thanks, Philip. Have a good night.
Thank you. That is ABC News correspondent Alex Stone on your afternoon drive. And another district, the biggest district in Missouri, going to a 4-day school week. We got just a couple of minutes on the other side, but I'd love to hear from parents on this. Would this be a boon? Would you be excited about this as both an opportunity for you to have more time with your kid and for your kid's teacher to maybe stay away from burnout? Is this a burden? You need your kids in school 5 days a week because you need to be at work 5 days a week. 490-5858 or 800-776-5858. Got a couple of minutes to play on the other side on the afternoon drive on KMJ.
It is getting kind of busy in Fresno, northbound 99. It's the Fresno Street off-ramp. We got a hit-and-run non-injury accident. Southbound 99 at Clinton Avenue, there is a report of a injury accident there. Another injury accident, North Palm Avenue at East Gettysburg. Then a hit-and-run non-injury accident. This is northbound 99 at McKinley. Next update, 4:03. Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. MVP's Pro Rewards members visit Lowe's now and earn bonus points on select products and brands like Power Pro. Then redeem for Lowe's e-gift cards and more. Offer valid through 1/8/23. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. Points expire 12/31/23.
Mike Sherinian, owner of The Elbow Room.
To get the greatest deal in town, you got to come to the Elbow Room or Riley's Brew Pub to get gift cards, because for every $50 gift card that you buy, you get a $10 additional card to be used from January through next June. And then if you buy a $100 gift card, you get a $20 bonus card to be used for food and beverage.
Give something unforgettable this season with custom holiday gift baskets from the Elbow Room Market. Choose from artisan foods, kitchen and bath items, specialty wines and spirits, and build your own baskets. Or let our basket artists create a themed masterpiece, perfect for individual or corporate holiday gifts. Only at the Elbow Room Market.
So, hurry in and get those gift cards, and it's just a great way to maximize your value.
The Elbow Room in Fig Garden Village. Call 227-1234 to make your reservations.
Treat yourself to something great.
Paid for by government.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 50 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-935-7267 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-935-7267. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-935-7267 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-935-7267.
Amanda Nugent-Devine, licensed marriage and family therapist, CEO of Kingsview.
If social media is making you feel like your life isn't good enough, consider this. Comparing ourselves to others has always been a losing game. It's never completely accurate and rarely helpful. The problem is that now, comparing ourselves to others has never been so easy. Social media provides wonderful opportunities to stay connected to people we care about. But if you are someone who has a habit of comparing yourself to others, social media can also be a source of frustration and sadness. It's critical to understand that when viewing the events of someone else's life on social media, you are seeing the filtered version they want you to see. And when you compare this filtered version of their life with the unfiltered version of your life, you will lose every time. Rarely do people post a romantic dinner gone wrong. They post the moments when their spouse is attentive and thoughtful and holding a turquoise box from Tiffany's. Bottom line, never compare your unfiltered life with the filtered life of others.
The Mental Health Minute with Amanda Nugent-Devine is sponsored by Kingsview.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Ben. Choosing the best mattress can be difficult, but one company has made it easy: Clovis Mattress. We've created a simple lineup of mattresses to suit all budgets and, more importantly, all sleeping styles.
But the best part is, all our mattresses are made right here in the Central Valley. We still use traditional techniques and the finest materials, but now every mattress we sell directly benefits the local community.
But that's not the only difference. At Clovis Mattress, we are open by appointment only. Why? Because we want every customer to get the royal treatment, so we can guide you through our amazing collection with no hard sell, no distractions, just the right information to help you find your perfect mattress.
So call Clovis Mattress today, 559-500-2222, or visit clovismattress.com. Again, that's clovismattress.com to book your appointment and secure free delivery from now until January 2023.
Buy local, support local at Clovis Mattress.
Congratulations to KMJ's Morning News with Christopher Gabriel and Matt Ottstadt on winning the Business Journal's Award for Best Morning Show for a 6th consecutive year.
Pulling up on 4 o'clock on your afternoon drive. News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
I'm definitely feeling more Christmassy after Naughty Roddy from our sister station, Mega 97.9, found the rest of the mail So the KMJ Afternoon Drive Christmas card exchange is underway. And we have absolutely gotten some Christmas cards. But it was I'm not going to lie, it started off a little slow. Not that my feelings were hurt. We were kind of late kicking it off this year. And apparently, the mail had been stacking up in the lobby. And we're doing some improvements at Radio City, so this is nobody's fault. Naughty Roddy found a stack of Christmas cards from you guys. There's like a dozen that came in right now. And every one of them is going to be getting a copy of the all-new 2022 Afternoon Drive Christmas card. If you want to be a part of the Afternoon Drive Christmas card exchange, it's really not complicated. Send us a Christmas card. We will grab your return address, and we will send one right back. Like I said, all-new design for this year. And it's just kind of a cool thing. We really enjoyed doing this last year. And if you guys want to be a part of it, there's no cost other than the card and the stamp, and no obligation other than having a Merry Christmas. If you want details on the Afternoon Drive Christmas card exchange, head over to kmjnow.com or go to drivekmj.com. If you just want to get with it, send us a card, 1071 West Shaw Avenue, Fresno, California, 93711. Market attention, KMJ's Afternoon Drive. And as soon as we get yours, we will get ours right back in the mail. And again, if that address went by too quick, just head over to kmjnow.com and we will have that waiting for you. Going to stop for an update of headlines with Jim Miller in the KMJ newsroom here in just a minute. And then when we get back, we are going to be talking with Flint Anderson. He is one of the founders of the group PAIN, Parents and Addicts in Need. And we had another horrifying, heartbreaking fentanyl story pop up. Thank goodness the officer involved is okay after 3 doses of Narcan. So we're going to talk with him about the importance of having Narcan, how you can acquire Narcan if you want to make sure you're prepared, and what the scourge of fentanyl and opiates is doing in our community. Flint Anderson is on the way after that updated headlines on News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ. Stick around.
Missed part of the show? Get the Afternoon Drive podcast at kmjnow.com or by searching KMJ's Afternoon Drive in Amazon Music or Stitcher.
This holiday season, the best gift is the peace of mind you get from protecting yourself and your loved ones from COVID-19. There's an updated COVID-19 vaccine that helps protect against the newer variants. If you are older or have a chronic condition, you are at greater risk. If it's been more than 2 months since your last shot or 3 months since you had COVID, you should get the shot. It's easy and free to you. Learn more at covidvaccineproject.org. That's covidvaccineproject.org.
Heard the news. Vaccine boosters are available for eligible Californians. Boosters support stronger immunity and help maximize protection against COVID-19 and its variants. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find out if you're eligible and to find a booster near you. That's myturn.ca.gov. Stay healthy and strong. Get boosted. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Is it new or isn't it? It's hard to tell when you drive a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Fresno. And that's not the only surprise, an affordable price. Every certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz comes with a 125-point inspection by certified Mercedes-Benz technicians and an unlimited mileage warranty. That's safety and more safety. See how affordable like new can be at Mercedes-Benz of Fresno, Palm, and Herndon. See store for details.
Managing your online presence takes time, effort, and expertise. It can overwhelm even the savviest business owner. So, meet Cumulus Boost. We're experts at boosting the online presence for businesses of every type. We make sure potential customers can easily find you and really like what they find. Your website, online listings, consumer reviews, and more. Cumulus Boost. Online at cumulusboost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
Save Mart has huge savings on all your holiday needs, from food and gifts to Christmas trees and decor. It's a lot of merry for a lot less. Right now, USDA choice beef ribeye roast whole bone-in is $5.99 a pound. And Dungeness crab clusters are $7.99 a pound. Pick up select Pepsi, 7-Up, Coke, and Polar 12-packs or Rockstar Energy 4-packs. Buy 2, get 3 free of equal or lesser value. Eat, drink, and save at Save Mart.
Cumulus Radio in Fresno is looking to hire an account executive to represent our radio brands and digital platforms. If you have a background in marketing and advertising and have a passion for helping local businesses grow their footprint in our market, we may be a good fit for you. You will work directly with local clients and help diversify their marketing initiatives across various organized platforms. The ideal candidate will be creative, social media savvy, progressive digital mentality, and fun to work with. Please send your resume to General Sales Manager Melissa Del Carlo at melissa.delcarlo@cumulus.com. Cumulus Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Tradition, a treasure that lasts for generations. An ice sparkling gift for Christmas is a great tradition.
I'm Ara Carcasian. Our tradition of the best selection, value, and real customer service continues.
Ara Carcasian Jewelers, northeast corner of Bullard and West.
The original KMJ, 580 AM, 105.9 FM, Fresno, a Cumulus media station.
It's 4 o'clock in Fresno. I'm Joe Miller in the KMJ News Center. A Fresno man facing charges after officers allegedly found stolen packages in his car. Police pulled over a 20-year-old Manuel Alejandro Rivera Miranda in Clovis last night. His car was wanted in connection to a handful of package thefts, and officers claim they found exactly what they're looking for. He was arrested on felony grand theft charges. Meanwhile, officials say the packages will be returned to their rightful owners sometime today. White House reveals winter COVID-19 plans, including more free tests. KMJ's Liz Kern has the details.
After a 3-month hiatus, the Biden administration is making 4 rapid virus tests available through the website covidtests.gov. The Biden administration is also urging states and local governments to do more to encourage people to get the updated bivalent COVID-19 vaccines, which scientists say are more effective at protecting against serious illness and death from the currently circulating variants. Liz Kern, KMJ News.
Fresno State hosting an event to honor Hmong New Year next week. The celebration will include traditional food, dance, and music, as well as a fashion show organized by the Hmong Student Association. Anyone is welcome to attend the event December 20th. It takes place at the school's Cross-Cultural and Gender Center from 5:30 to 8 p.m. The House of Representatives approved a measure that extends the deadline to fund the government for at least another week. ABC's Ike Ijochi in Washington with more.
The measure reverts the original Friday midnight deadline and instead funds the government for another week until December 23rd. The legislation now heads to the Senate, where if passed, gives lawmakers another week to negotiate a massive omnibus spending bill that funds the government for another year. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy is calling for a longer-lasting bill that funds the government until early January, so that the incoming Republican majority gets the chance to force budget cuts in a more permanent bill. Ike Ijochi, ABC News, Washington.
Now the forecast from Fox 26's Christina Lopez.
Good Thursday afternoon. We are seeing freezing temperatures across the valley with the freeze warning in effect through Monday, 7 a.m., with overnight and early morning temperatures hovering between 25 and 32 degrees. Right here in the Fresno area, a high of 54 with mostly sunny skies, a low of 35. At the Fox 26 Weather Center, I'm Christina Lopez. For KMJ News, make it a safe day.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Jim Miller for News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Fresno right now, lots going on. Northbound 99 at Fresno Street. A hit-and-run non-injury accident. Then southbound 99 at Clinton. Got an injury accident being reported there. Another injury accident is at Palm and Gettysburg. And northbound 99 at McKinley. A hit-and-run non-injury accident. Porterville on North Prospect Street at West Morton. Non-injury accident being reported there. Our next update is at 4:17. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
Make the season bright with the $550,000 Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway. Come out on Friday, December 23rd for the grand finale to win your share of $90,000 cash. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino. Teresi takes your calls at 490-5858. You're next on KMJ.
Adding jingle bells to house music does not automatically make it Christmas music. but I can think of a worse beat. It is the afternoon drive at News Talk 580, 1059 KMJ. I'm Philip Teresi. Appreciate you sticking around this afternoon. You may have seen this story pop up on KMJ News or with our partner Fox 26 News. Around midnight on Tuesday, outside of Tavares, Florida, a police officer, Courtney Bannock, pulled over a car that was discovered to have had various narcotics and drug paraphernalia inside. Bannock's command says that Officer Bannock followed proper protocol protecting herself against exposure to those drugs. She was wearing gloves. She was wearing PPE. But with high winds and a potent narcotic, fentanyl, Officer Bannock became exposed and overdosed. She could be heard on her radio, breathless and choking, and another officer at the scene went to check on her and found her slipping in and out of consciousness. They gave her 3 doses of Narcan to revive her. Officer Bannock has released the body cam footage of the incident. She gave permission to the department to share this with the media. And if you're curious, it'll hurt your heart to see. But I think it's important, maybe not for us, but for sometimes the people that we love to understand just how dangerous this stuff is. And that's why I wanted to talk with Flint Anderson. He is the founder of Parents and Addicts in Need. He started back in 2009 with a mission to communicate the hard truth about addiction, substance abuse, and the increasing danger. And Flint, correct me if I'm wrong, but Pain is now also providing free Narcan to the community, correct?
Yes, Philip. Yes, we are. Yeah. People can stop by our office and pick it up anytime.
So did you see this story about this officer?
You know, I haven't seen that story, but I've seen so many stories regarding this that, it doesn't surprise me at all.
I think that people sometimes, I'm a little bit of a skeptical person myself, so I understand when people react to fentanyl stories with a little bit of a, just like in Reefer Madness, right?
Right.
But fentanyl really is different. I mean, this was a gust of wind that almost killed a cop.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about the arc of this substance, because I feel like 10 years ago, fentanyl was just something that was given to people in the hospital, and now it's everywhere. We talk about fentanyl more than we talk about meth in 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I've been talking about fentanyl for at least the last 8 years. Fentanyl is 100 times stronger than morphine. And when these officers find themselves in danger, normally it's because of a large amount of fentanyl that is in that vehicle, and it's in powder form. And so, yes, even if the air conditioning got to it or a gust of wind, and it got that fentanyl, that can definitely cause overdose in somebody. If you're just touching, one single pill, which we call an M30 pill, for example, that the kids are using, the chances of that happening are slim and none.
Flint, in your experience, how much of the fentanyl, and especially when we start hearing these stories of people overdosing, I mean, kids overdosing in the bathroom at school, cops overdosing on the side of a road on a traffic stop, how much of that is pharmaceutical fentanyl that one might get from a doctor following surgery, and how much of that is bathtub fentanyl produced by gangbangers?
I would say 95% of that is produced by China and then shipped into Mexico and then comes across our borders, via the drug cartels. There are some overdose cases of pharmaceutical fentanyl causing overdose because they also come in lollipops. They come in patches, and kids and adults will actually chew on those patches to get the full hit of that fentanyl. Yeah. And so that can cause an overdose as well. But fentanyl, Philip, now is in is in everything. It's laced in cocaine. It's put on ecstasy. It's in M30 fake pills. It's virtually everywhere now. Even they even put it on heroin to increase that high. So, and again, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you can't see it. This is a nightmare we're in.
We have talked with you. We have talked with the pastor at Clovis Hills Community Church. We have talked with District Attorney Lisa Smitkamp, and everybody is banging the drum on find Narcan, store Narcan, carry Narcan, put it in schools, put it in cars, teach everybody how to use it. Are we at a point now where, in your opinion, Narcan just needs to be a part of every first aid kit?
It does. It really does. We believe, and we've said it again for a number of years, that you have to treat this like it's an EpiPen or a fire extinguisher. And we're not saying that your family or one's family, has a drug problem here. But nobody can really tell when somebody is high on opioids. It's very difficult. But when somebody does go in, your kid may bring somebody home that just took a dose that you don't know about, and all of a sudden that kid goes into overdose. You literally have minutes and seconds to get to that person in order to get that Narcan administered.
Well, so I have, and I actually got it through Clovis Hills Community Church. I have a pair of naloxone 2-packs, that white and pink Narcan that I think most folks are familiar with now. What is the shelf life? Because I know that while you and some other groups are distributing it free or at very, very low cost, I also know there's folks that are going to the pharmacy and buying it. What's the shelf life? If I stick that in the fridge or I stick it in my glove box, how long before I need to get back in touch and find more?
You know what? You can keep that for quite some time. You can have that for 6 months or up to a year.
Okay.
And it's like any other pharmaceutical drug. There's always an end date on it, right? There's always an expiration date. But if it's kept in a reasonable place, most medications can be kept for even 3 to 5 years after the expiration date. So you've got a long time before you're going to have to get some new stuff.
So when in doubt, hang on to it and refresh as soon as possible.
Always. Yeah.
So
and Philip. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please go on.
No, I mean we are trying to get it in the schools as well. There's a couple of schools that are working with us. I know Fresno County schools are doing a pretty good job of getting that into the schools, but there are still some out there that will not keep it in every classroom. What they do is they keep it in the nurses' station. And in my opinion, what's happening is if some kid overdoses in a classroom, they've got to get to the nurse. The nurse has to get it to the kid, and that classroom could be all the way across campus. And so our next goal here is to try to get it in every classroom so every teacher is trained on it. It's about as easy as a training can get. And we're not at that point yet, but we're hopefully going to get there soon.
I'm on board. I agree with you. So I want to ask this from the perspective of helping folks understand. Is there a chance, if I right now picked up one of these 4 milligram Narcan naloxone nasal sprays like I've got sitting in my fridge, and I right now sitting here on the radio chatting with you administered Narcan to myself, is there any abuse of potential? Is there any overdose potential? Could I hurt myself if I took it erroneously?
Absolutely none whatsoever. Narcan has no other reversing the opioid overdose. It cannot be used for other drugs, other medications. It's strictly for opioids. And an infant could get into that and spray it up their nostrils, and it's not going to do them any harm whatsoever. It has no other properties, Philip, other than reversing that overdose.
Yeah, I hate the idea of wasting a dose, and yet I think that when people hear, I want to put this thing in classrooms, they get scared, and there's this temptation in my head to self-administer just to demonstrate like nothing happened. I got a bad taste in the back of my throat or whatever.
Sure. I mean, I've done it, and and again, yeah. it doesn't do anything. But here's what I say to people that on the comment that you just made. especially with people being a little bit afraid of it.
Sure.
Would you rather be afraid of it, or would you rather have your child die?
Yeah.
Would you rather be afraid of it or have somebody else's child die? You know, we're talking about life and death here. This isn't fun and games. This isn't any of that anymore. This is serious business, and we deal with families that have lost kids to this disease and to this overdose. And I'll tell you what, that's the last place a parent wants to be.
Amen to that. Flint, we got a couple of minutes in this break still, and I want to ask you for the parents, because, again, I believe my kids are good kids. I believe that my kids are more or less walking the straight and narrow. And I think that a lot of people believe that right up to the point where their kids in the hospital getting their stomach pumped, or their kids, God forbid, on their way to the coroner's office because they got a hold of fentanyl. Are there signs that a parent can look for that point to an otherwise healthy kid starting to dabble with opiates, starting to fool with this before it crosses that line?
Sure. There's a few things out there. One of them is, you know, and this is going to make sense, I hope. Is your kid in a good mood? Because opioids make you in a good mood. That's the nature of the beast. Most kids are a little irritated about something, especially teenagers. Are they losing weight? Are they spending too much time in the bathroom? Is their style of dress changing? Their diet. I know kids eat a lot of, can eat a lot of sugar, but are they going overboard on eating sugar? Are they eating cereal all the time, ice cream all the time, chocolate all the time? Those are some of the signs that I would really start to look for, besides our grade slipping. You know, if they're playing baseball, are they quitting the baseball team? If they're in student government, are they quitting that? Those are the majority of the signs that I would be looking for as a parent at this point. And look, I am also at the point where I have no problem in telling parents to drug test your kids. And again, I go back to the point of, would you rather drug test your child or go to their funeral? It's one or the other these days, because most kids are good kids, but most kids are not going to tell their parents everything, and they're certainly not going to tell them they've experimented with opiates.
We're talking with Flint
no,
Anderson.
It's just that simple.
We're talking with Flint Anderson. He is the founder of Parents and Addicts in Need, PAIN. You can find them online, painnonprofit.org. I posted the link up. You'll find it on Facebook and on Twitter at DriveKMJ, but the link's very easy, painnonprofit.org. We're going to continue with Flint Anderson. When we get back, it's the afternoon drive on KMJ. If you have a question for Flint, we're going to have a few minutes on the other side. Join us at 490-5858 or toll free at 800-776-5858.
A busy afternoon for problems on the roadways at Fresno, northbound 99 at McKinley. 9-injury accident being reported there. Southbound 99 at Clinton, there's an injury accident. Then northbound 41 at Shields, we have a non-injury accident. In Palm and Gettysburg, cleaning up from a minor injury accident. At Porterville, North Prospect Street at West Morton, a non-injury accident. And also keep in mind, Millerton Road at the Millerton Lake entrance, that whole area is closed because of an earlier accident. Next update, 4:33. It's Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
You've given chocolates, you've given wine, so why not give a totally unique gift this year? Give the gift of award-winning Bari olive oil this Christmas. Extra virgin olive oil, flavor-infused oils, gourmet foods, gift baskets. There's tons to choose from at Bari's Gift Shop. Bari Olive Oil Company's gift shop and tasting room is open Monday through Friday, 9 till 4:30, and Saturdays from 9 till 3. Find them online at barioliveoil.com or call 595-9260 for more info.
Folks, there have been some fumbles on the way to the big game, but he's not getting some help to get it done tonight. Here's the throw. He might go all the way. Touchdown!
Regain and optimize your sexual performance. See what Pacific Men's Clinic can do to help that bedroom touchdown. Pacific Men's Clinic's safe and pain-free, clinically proven procedure breaks up plaque and stimulates the growth of healthy new blood vessels. Call for your free consultation now at 559-550-6771. That's 559-550-6771.
I am a very happy camper because I get to tell you about the Noble Brothers Truck Accessory Center. Yeah, exactly the same place I was talking to you about 15, 20 years ago. Do you know this local company is 42 years old? 42 years dabbling with trucks. I think they know what they're doing. And right now, I need to address you people that have companies and you people who are farmers with fleet vehicles. This is an area where the Noble Brothers have really carved out their expertise. Whether it's cabinets, truck racks, ladder racks, toolboxes, van interiors, van shelving, and a lot of it. Remember, I use the F word, fleet. If you have fleet needs, you need the Noble Brothers Truck Accessory Center. 2 of them, one out in Sunnyside, the other one on Blackstone near Sierra. I got to know them when they turned a Jeep Wrangler of mine into a masterpiece, and I just got another Jeep. And they're doing it all over again. I can't wait for the finished product. Click nobletruck.com. Noble, Nobile. If it's a pickup, a van, a Jeep, oh, even a fifth wheel, you totally need the Noble Brothers Truck Accessory Center since 1980.
Helen here with Chris Moran with a major solar industry update. So, Chris, what makes this update so urgent?
The state of California has released a decision that will cut the savings from a new solar system by 75%. It's called NEM 3.0. Luckily, anyone who already has solar under NEM 2.0 will be locked in under the current benefits. But anyone who goes solar after April will do so under the new program, which honestly isn't great.
So, what should people do?
Well, for anyone listening, if you've been considering solar, now really is the time. Many people will regret not getting their system installed before these changes go into effect. And once April comes, it'll be too late.
And since Solar Negotiators is the only contractor to provide lifetime maintenance and no true-up monitoring, people can make the right choice. Lock in your project now with Solar Negotiators powered by Solar Maintenance Pros, your lifetime energy partner.
Hi, I'm Lorna Roush. My family farms pistachios in Fresno County, but I'm also a mom and a grandma, and I want to share a shocking fact with you. Pistachios are a superfood. They're high in antioxidant activity, which means they're health protective and support a strong immune system. But you don't have to tell the kids. Just put out a big bowl of pistachios and watch them disappear. And thanks for supporting California's pistachio farmers like me.
Learn more from American pistachio growers at americanpistachios.org.
The elves at Willow Gardens Nursery have been busy as they've stocked their holiday boutique with one-of-a-kind Christmas gifts, Christmas floral, ribbon, ornaments, and beautiful Christmas decor. Located at Willow and International in Clovis, Willow Gardens also has what your garden needs with an incredible selection of winter shrub and trees like gardenias, camellias and azaleas, or Korean sun-pear trees and purple hopseed bush. Get in the spirit this holiday season and shop Willow Gardens. Open 7 days a week, they deliver, plus they give 10% off for veterans and seniors. Some exclusions may apply.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
422 on your afternoon drive. It's News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ. I'm Philip Teresi. Flint Anderson is our guest. He is the founder of Parents and Addicts in Need Pain. And you can find him online at painnonprofit.org. Flint, I appreciate you hanging out. I got a couple of folks on the phone that both have good questions for you, if you don't mind. So we'll start with Jesse here.
Sure.
Jesse, welcome to KMJ. You're on with Flint Anderson. Jesse, are you there, bud? Well, that went well. Jesse's question, Flint. The question here, and it's a good one. How do you know if you're seeing somebody who's maybe having a heart attack versus somebody who's having an opioid overdose? And I guess my follow-up would be, does that matter in the moment, or do you give them the the Narcan and call 911 either way?
I would give them the Narcan and dial 911. But because with the opioid overdose, what you're going to see is you're going to see the eyes roll back in their head. You're going to see a white foamy substance coming out of the mouth. Their skin is going to be clammy. But skin's clammy with a heart attack as well. But the signs are a little bit different. But it's not going to do the person any harm if they're not having the overdose and you give them the Narcan anyway.
That's that's an important thing, because I think that they're very fearful when you start talking about cardiac stuff. You don't want to exacerbate a heart attack, and Narcan's not going to do that.
Correct.
All right. And Michael, thank you for hanging in there, man. Welcome to KMJ. You are on with Flynn Anderson.
Yes, sir. Thank you, gentlemen. My question is just how much Narcan should we have on hand? You're talking about that officer they had to administer 3 doses to kind of reverse the effect. So how much should somebody typically expect to have on hand?
Well, I would say, first of all, we give it comes in 2 doses per box, and we give 2 boxes to each person, so they're going to have 4 doses. And again, you can give that repeatedly when somebody's going into that overdose. If they're not snapping out of it, you continue to give them what you have, of course, as you're calling 911.
Flint, and again, for those of you that missed it earlier, Narcan doesn't have any abuse potential. There's no side effect. Narcan will not get you high. It's the opposite. And you can't OD on Narcan. All it does is detach opioid receptors, correct? I mean, very broadly speaking.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
if you have somebody who was exposed to, and this might even be a question more for a pharmacist, but I'll ask you anyways. If you have somebody who was exposed to a higher dose, is it then conceivable that they will require more Narcan to have an effect?
It maybe so. Absolutely. In fact, what's happening now is there is a company that has come up with a higher dose, an 8 milligram, quote, Narcan, which is called Clodaxo. It's not on the market yet to where we can give it away for free. But like I said, it's double the dose of what Narcan is right now.
And by the way, if you want to get Narcan, parents and addicts in need do give away Narcan. You can reach out to them if you're interested in procuring doses, but you can also walk into any pharmacy, and if you've got the scratch, you can buy Narcan out of pocket. The pharmacist will sell it to you without a doctor's prescription.
That's actually some misinformation, Philip.
Really?
You have to have a doctor's prescription in
Really?
order to go in and get it from a pharmacy. Yes. There's been, again, no, I'm not blaming anybody here,
Sure.
but there's been some misinformation. You just cannot walk into a pharmacy and buy it. You just can't walk into a hospital and get it. You just can't walk into a police station and get it.
Okay.
You have to kind of go through people like us, or you have to have that prescription from the doctor. And if you do go in with the prescription from the doctor, I'll tell you what, insurance doesn't cover it. So you're going to be spending, a couple $100 to get some Narcan.
Okay, I appreciate you correcting me on that, because somewhere along the way somebody had told me you could just walk in and ask. But that's right. Important to know. So if you want to get ahead of this thing, you can go to your doctor. If you want to get ahead of this thing and you don't want to pay out of pocket, contact Parents and Addicts in Need, or contact Clovis Hills Community Church. They also have a Narcan distribution program. Right. Flint, do you know how many entities now in our region have started distributing Narcan for folks to just ask?
I don't know the total amount, Philip, but I know there's 3 or 4 of us around here that will give it out. We've been giving it out now for a couple of years, and I know Clovis Hills gives it out as well. I think there's 1 or 2 organizations, but I'm not sure on how much, because there is a limit to what people can get. It's not like an organization can just call up and go, hey, we need 500 cases of this stuff. We've proven ourselves to these folks that we give out, vast quantities. So we get, good amounts of shipments coming into us. But wherever it is, I think that people just have to have, like I said earlier, glove compartment in your house, in your office, anywhere that you're traveling. You got to keep it with you.
Flint, for folks that have heard this and are interested in having you come in, or having somebody from Payne come in and talk about your organization, talk about your efforts to distribute Narcan, talk about the Sober Living Home, and help people understand that addiction exists and it's not a matter of shame. Do you guys do speeches? Do you do community outreach? Will you come to my church or my school if I extend the invitation?
Absolutely. We've been speaking at schools for the last 13 years. We've been I work very closely with Lisa Smith-Camp. I work very closely with our Fort fentanyl overdose response team. I do speak all over the country on the opioid crisis. I'm in recovery myself. I was an opiate addict for over 23 years, and I've got 21 years of recovery. And so we go into churches, we go into schools, we'll talk about it, we'll give you the real truth about what is going on in our community with addiction. And then we'll provide that training for Narcan for you and give the folks Narcan if they want it.
Flint, as always, I appreciate your wisdom and your time, and thank you for joining me this afternoon.
You bet, Philip. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
That's Flint Anderson. He is the founder of Parents and Addicts in Need, also known as PAIN. You can find him online at painnonprofit.org. Whether you're looking for fentanyl because you just want to be prepared for a possibility or you need help, reach out. painnonprofit.org. If you can't find the link, head over to Facebook and Twitter at Drive KMJ. We've got it posted up there. And thank you again to Flint Anderson for a lot of very valuable information.
KMJ News now.
It's 4:30 in Fresno. I'm Jim Miller in the KMJ News Center. Well, Parlor Police Department sharing some good news. They were called to the Bank of the West on J Street on Thursday, December the 8th, about a report of found property at the location. When they arrived, they talked to Jasmine and Rosa Leah Gutierrez, who found the property. They said they were out for a walk when they heard a noise coming from an automated teller machine. They walked over to the machine and noticed there was an ATM card and a large amount of cash that had been withdrawn but not taken out. The girls took the card and the cash and called the Parlor Police Department to report what they found. Police able to track down the owner with the help of employees at Bank of the West. Police applaud the girls for what they did. Fresno residents can watch a live-action Christmas story show from their cars this weekend. Bethany Church putting on the annual Nativity production on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 p. to 8 p. Organizers say the event is a free, immersive experience featuring live animals. A possible clue, the college murder mystery in Idaho. Officials reviewing newly discovered surveillance video of a car racing by shortly after those murders. ABC's Kana Whitworth has details.
It was taken from an ExxonMobil station's camera around 3:45 the morning 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. The station about a mile away from their home. The parents of Kaylee Gonzalez, who was killed in the attack, now urging other businesses to turn over whatever footage they have before it's too late.
There's a 24-hour mark on a lot of those little video cams. There's a 7-day, a 1 month, a 1 month.
We're hitting the month. If the key part of the evidence is outside that residence, then we're losing it. We have to get it now.
A community on edge.
Now the forecast from Fox 26's Christina Lopez.
Good Thursday afternoon. We're tracking a freeze warning in effect through Monday, 7 a.m. with overnight and early morning temperatures between 25 and 32 degrees. Looking back at rain totals from the valley's recent storm, Fresno received close to 2/100 of an inch of rain. In Madera, 7/100 of an inch. In Yosemite, nearly 2.5 inches of snowfall. In Visalia, 19/100 of an inch of rain. And in Three Rivers, you saw over 1.5 inches of rainfall. Right here in the Fresno area, a high of 54 with mostly sunny skies, a low of 35 with patchy fog and frost. At the Fox 26 Weather Center, I'm Christina Lopez for KMJ News. Make it a great afternoon.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Jim Miller for News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Jim, thank you. And we had lots of traffic to deal with today. Northbound 99 at McKinley, non-injury accident there. Also on northbound 99 at Golden State Boulevard, got a hit-and-run non-injury accident. Southbound 99 at Clinton, there is an injury accident reported there. Northbound 41 at Shields, got a non-injury accident. In Palm and Gettysburg, minor injury accident. They're still in the cleanup stages there. Next update, 447. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
Make the season bright with the $550,000 Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway. Come out on Friday, December 23rd for the grand finale to win your share of $90,000 cash. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
Inflation goes up. Do you feel like you need to refinance your car to fill up the gas tank? What if 2 years ago someone offered to sell you a lifetime supply of gas at $2.75 a gallon, but you told them no? Today, you would be kicking yourself. Right now, Planet Solar has that same offer for you on your electric bill. As inflation goes up, so does your utility bill. Lock in your energy prices today with a new Planet Solar system. Planet Solar is locally owned and operated in Clovis. They're big enough to offer you all the best brands and in-house financing, but small enough to give you the personal service you deserve. Call Planet Solar to find out how to lock in your electricity costs today. You'll be glad you did. Call them at 559-228-9245 or find them on the web at planetsolar.com. That's 228-9245 or planetsolar.com. License number 938313.
Dinosaur angry, must stay in cold cave.
Me fix that.
What it is?
Fire?
Warm. Here, take picture of me and fire.
There.
Where picture?
Right here on tiny screen.
No, where's print?
No print. Digital camera.
Got no print. Got no picture.
Here, I draw it on wall for you.
No more room. I want professional print.
From where? This Stone Age.
Turn on radio.
Visit Horn Photo because we can make beautiful prints from your phone or camera.
Horn Photo.
Okay, go get prints at Horn Photo, then stop by river.
Why stop by river?
Your loincloth on fire.
Visit us today at hornphoto.com or our beautiful store in the Villaggio, Blackstone and East next to Sierra Nut House. Got the picture?
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
This report is sponsored by In-N-Out Burger.
At In-N-Out, our hamburgers are made with the highest quality ingredients, made fresh and by hand, made with a smile, and made to order just for you.
Your calls, your tweets, and your voice are welcome on News Talk 580 1059 KMJ.
Roll through your 4 o'clock hour on KMJ. Thanks again to Flint Anderson of Parents and Addicts in Need for joining us. If you missed any part of that conversation, you'll be able to find it in the podcast section a little later tonight at kmjnow.com. As long as we're talking about giving stuff away, the Biden administration is making at-home COVID tests available for free. That means at taxpayer expense. For free again this winter. You'll be able to order a total of 4 rapid COVID tests at covidtests.gov. Orders will start shipping next week. This was shut down back in September because Congress didn't pass additional funding for it, and the White House said that they decided to shift existing money to buy more tests and relaunch the program as we are seeing an increase in coronavirus cases. I am how many essential medical things in this country are unavailable because they're cost prohibitive? How many treatments do we not have access to if you don't have the right insurance, or if you aren't in the right network, or if you aren't working with the right provider? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want everybody running around sneezing corona on one another. I would also like to avoid catching the flu or having my children or my parents exposed to RSV. I'm really torn because there is a level of contagiousness and there is a potential for harm with the coronavirus that I do think outstrips RSV and the flu, generally speaking, amongst healthy people who otherwise don't have conspicuous comorbidities. I don't understand why we need taxpayer dollars to do this. And I understand the administration is dipping into a pool of pre-existing money. And I am not against having coronavirus testing at-home kits being made available very, very cheaply. And I think that the big pharma companies that have enjoyed previously unimagined record-breaking profits as a result of the pandemic can afford to just give the blessed things away. I understand continuing to charge for the vaccines. I also understand the virtue in making the vaccines freely available to people who can't otherwise afford them. I don't have a problem with subsidized COVID tests in a bubble. I have a problem with more taxpayer money going to more pharmaceutical companies on the heels of the pandemic, and we are on the heels of the pandemic. Right now, things are getting tough in hospitals, and I don't want to take that away from our doctors and nurses, not for a minute. And because of the incredible contagiousness of the coronavirus, again, if you've got it, for goodness sake, stay home. Stay away from other people, get over it, and go back to living your life. And that's still standing policy with my parent company, Cumulus Media. If somebody in my house tests positive for the Rona, I'm told to stay home. Now, they bring out equipment, and I can keep doing the show, and as long as I'm healthy and present, everybody's happy. And they've been, I have to say, our company has been really, really good about accommodating people and making sure that we can continue to ply our respective trades, even as a lot of folks have dipped in and out with this thing. And I don't consider it hygiene theater to test for this. But it's that element of taxpayer money. When does this go back to being a responsibility of insurance companies? When does this go back to being a responsibility of the individual? And yet, I'd rather have the test than not. I don't have a good answer here. I did, however, find you guys Peak California. Specifically, Peak California Christmas. And yet, I don't hate this. There are a couple nurseries now in California that have begun renting out Christmas trees. Live trees, planted, potted, for you to rent and put up in your home for the holidays, and then to be returned, one would hope, still alive, to the nursery where it started. And in particular, Monica Hudson started rentachristmastree.com. And they're well-groomed. They're beautiful trees. And the cost is, it's a pinch higher than going to the Christmas tree lot and just buying your normal cut tree. So you go to the website, you make a reservation, you pay your fee. They deliver this thing to your house. You accept the responsibility to water the tree. I think you have to water them every day when they're still potted. And then after Christmas, the date is set for the tree to get picked up to go back to the nursery so that it continues to live in its pot and gets hooked up to drip irrigation so that somebody can rent it next year. They're beautiful trees. I think that they're probably actually going to have much, much greater longevity than the cut tree for obvious reasons. It's still alive. would you rent a live tree given the opportunity? This particular group, Rent a Living Christmas Tree, they seem to be serving like the Central Coast in the Bay Area. And people love it. They're doing gangbusters business. So this is right now work in South San Francisco Bay Area, Santa Cruz, Monterey Peninsula, and the Salinas region. And their farm's actually based outside of Carmel. 5 years now, and that basically at this point, unless you want a Charlie Brown special, and they do specifically have Charlie Brown specials, the picture they have is exactly as pathetic as you're thinking of. They're booking up quick. If they ever get into Fresno, or if any of the nurseries around here start doing it, I might do this, because I got to be honest, I prefer the live tree. But it always sucks when you've got that dry, dead, sad thing that you've got to drag out and chop up for the green waste bin on, New Year's Day. If you want to check them out, I'll post the link for you. If you want to just head right over to it, rentxmastree.com. I know. Some people get really upset about that abbreviation. I didn't buy their website. Rentxmastree.com if you want to check it out. And as long as we're talking about Christmassy stuff here, this, I think, is actually a really funny idea out of Florida. Several motorists who were speeding through a school zone on the Florida Keys Overseas Highway were the recipient of an unusual deterrent. A 37-year veteran of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Colonel Lou Caputo, came up with this idea. He's been doing this for 20 years, I guess. If you're going 5 miles per hour or less above the school zone speed limit, this guy dressed as the Grinch approaches your car and presents you with an onion. If you're going more than 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, you're getting your ticket too. Caputo says it's about education, awareness that school zones are still operating even though it's the holiday season. We really just want people to slow down. He says it's all about calling attention to the issue in a nice way. It catches them off guard. But Caputo says, when I give them the clear choice of a citation or an onion, they will take the onion. And I've had them eat the onion right in front of me. Oh. I don't think he was insisting on that. Great idea, though. Great initiative from Colonel Caputo of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. It's News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ. Worldwide, you can hear us at kmjnow.com. When we get back, I don't know if you guys are getting burnt on the Twitter thing, but Jack Dorsey is now weighing in on this, and he is extremely critical of Jack Dorsey's Twitter files. We'll talk about that on the way on KMJ.
In Fresno, it just continues to get more accidents. West Lincoln Avenue and South Fruit, injury accident being reported there. Northbound 99 at Golden State, hit and run, non-injury accident. Northbound 99 at McKinley, they're cleaning up a non-injury accident. Southbound 99 at Clinton, an injury accident there. Palm and Gettysburg cleaning up from a minor injury accident. Keep in mind that Millerton Road at the Millerton Lake entrance is still closed and will be from an earlier accident and a downed PG&E wire. Next update, 5:03. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic. Hey there, it's Greg Lane. Do you realize that Roger Vogt has been serving the Central Valley for 40-plus years? They've created valuable relationships with the customers and is your dealership alternative for your Sprinter van services, repairs, and maintenance. And they are a full-service Sprinter facility. and offer basic maintenance services and complete fluid exchanges. Other services are brakes, suspension, electrical, DX and CK engine lamp repairs, AC repairs, and complete emission DX repairs. And they've got 16 service bays, so it makes it really easy to get your Sprinter van serviced, repaired quickly, and a courtesy shuttle always available. Their ASC Master level technicians are always up to date in the latest state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment to keep your Sprinter van on the move. If you need regular maintenance service or repairs of any type, call Rose Livano or John Herreras at 559-635-3288 and they'll get the job done for you. Online at performanceautoandair.com to schedule your appointment. Roger Voigt's Performance Auto Diesel and Air, one of the best things about living in Visalia.
Save Mart has huge savings on all your holiday needs, from food and gifts to Christmas trees and decor. It's a lot of merry for a lot less. Right now, USDA choice beef ribeye roast whole bone-in is $5.99 a pound. And Dungeness crab clusters are $7.99 a pound. Pick up select Pepsi, 7-Up, Coke, and Polar 12-packs or Rockstar Energy 4-packs. Buy 2, get 3 free of equal or lesser value. Eat, drink, and save at Save Mart.
It's a new day because COVID vaccines just got a big update. So all the big stuff coming up this fall? Well, now you can say, you bet I'll be there. Because updated COVID vaccines protect against both the original COVID virus and Omicron. And everyone 5 and older can get one. So this is a moment we've all been waiting for.
Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
I have to say this. I am personally astounded how the Glass Shop in Visalia continues to do everything right. They're making some amazing business decisions, and that's great for you. Okay, so what now? No tax whatsoever on any windows up until April 15th. That'll save you plenty right there, especially if you got a big job. No taxes. They'll front that bill with Uncle Sam. You don't worry about it. Next, Scott has become kind of a living legend in this business of windows and doors and all of this stuff. He needs a title, like, shall we call him the Wizard of Windows? When he comes to your home, he'll tell you before you even know what you need, and this is blowing people's minds. He'll tell you what type of window. He'll tell you what brand. Now, you ultimately make the decision, but this guy knows. And the Glass Shop has windows that have a double lifetime warranty. You sell your home, and whoever buys the home gets that warranty as well. And they'll get it done like in 3 to 4 weeks, where most companies take 2 to 3 months. Click theglassshop.com. It's that simple. The Glass Shop in Visalia. Click theglassshop.com. There you go. Tax-free, don't forget.
Live. Local. KMJ.
Well, at about 5 o'clock on your afternoon drive. It's News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Little Christmas music, trying to get in the mood for the holiday. I'll be honest, I'm still very much on the fence about the rollout of the so-called Twitter files. I think that there is something important going on there. And I think that understanding truly what a social media company is or is not doing with user content, it's a consideration for whether or not you necessarily want to continue to interact with that social media company. That said, I am not of the opinion that Twitter has the same obligation to the First Amendment as does the federal government of the United States. And so some of the hullabaloo about what's happening at Twitter, I think is a combination of gotcha, because Elon Musk bought the company and pulled the covers on this. And that is not a bad thing. On the other hand, had the company simply explained clearly, look, we've got a perspective, we've got a slant, we have a bias towards one political side or the other, people could make a decision about whether or not they wanted to use that platform or whether they wanted to incorporate that platform as part of a broader strategy. And that's something that, we start every show. What do I say? Find the show, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Drive KMJ. I've also got Drive KMJ on Parler and Truth and YouTube and all of these various outlets. And that's so that we can be where you are. And what I found was that engagement on Parler was slim to non-existent. And I have found that engagement on Truth Social, unfortunately, has just been highly combative. And that's probably because I'm not a MAGA guy. I don't hate everything about the MAGA movement. I'm not mad at Donald Trump for sending mean tweets. But I'm a centrist. I'm one of those people. I think that the government should butt out of our personal lives, and I think that the government should have as little involvement as possible in our lives in the public sphere. I don't think that it's the place of the government to tell us from either side how to live, who to love, what to smoke, any of it. Maintain a military, maintain police, maintain roads, and give us good public schools and get out of the way. If I had known that Twitter was doing what they were doing, which don't call it shadow banning, it was visibility filtering, and those are two different things. Abuse of jargon aside, I still would have been on Twitter. One, I'm not that big of a fish, so I don't know that I ever would have gotten caught up in what they were doing. But two, I don't care. I'm going to put my stuff up there, and if you want to find me, come and find me. But Jack Dorsey is teeing off here. One, he is admitting to having made mistakes while leading the social media company that he helped to found. But he also says that the Twitter files rollout, despite shedding light on politically motivated ad hoc decisions, the issue isn't the transparency. The issue in Jack Dorsey's mind is that people are getting accused of crimes against the state and crimes against the people when they were just operating a business as they saw fit. I'm curious, does that strike a chord with you? Is the smoke relative to the accompanying fire in the Twitter files overwhelming? 490-5858 or 800-776-5858. Got an update of headlines on the way with Jim Miller, an update of your drive home with Greg Lane, and your trending topics at 5 o'clock are all on the way on KMJ.
Missed part of the show? Get the Afternoon Drive podcast at kmjnow.com or by searching KMJ's Afternoon Drive in Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Mike Sherinian, owner of The Elbow Room.
To get the greatest deal in town, you got to come to the Elbow Room or Riley's Brew Pub to get gift cards, because for every $50 gift card that you buy, you get a $10 additional card to be used from January through next June. And then if you buy a $100 gift card, you get a $20 bonus card to be used for food and beverage.
Give something unforgettable this season with custom holiday gift baskets from the Elbow Room Market. Choose from artisan foods, kitchen and bath items, specialty wines and spirits, and build your own baskets. Or let our basket artists create a themed masterpiece, perfect for individual or corporate holiday gifts. Only at the Elbow Room Market.
So, hurry in and get those gift cards, and it's just a great way to maximize your value.
The Elbow Room in Fig Garden Village. Call 227-1234 to make your reservations.
Treat yourself to something great.
A story of first downs and second chances. Meet former pro football player Michael Robinson.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
And all those big league experts couldn't help?
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
Finally, he got fitted with Good Feet arch supports.
Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
Sign up for your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Step into your Good Feet store in Fresno, Merced, and Visalia.
California's #1 selling RV dealer does it again. Best RV presents its annual RV show now through January 31st. Come in now and see hundreds of motorhomes, toy haulers, fifth wheels, travel trailers, tent trailers, as well as Class A, B, and C. The selection is endless at Best RV. Best RV has the lowest prices, free dealer prep, and no hidden fees. Financing available. It couldn't be a better time to get down to Best RV. Check them out at 5340 Taylor Court in Turlock or online at bestrv.com.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
Celebrating a century of broadcasting. News Talk 580 AM, 105.9 FM, KMJ, Fresno, a Cumulus Media station.
It's 5 o'clock in Fresno. I'm Joe Miller in the KMJ News Center. Multiple people hurt after a collision between a car and a school bus at an area south of Mendota. CHP said the crash happened on Highway 33 and Pinocchi Road. The passenger and driver of that car were taken to the hospital. Multiple passengers in the bus had minor injuries. They were taken to medical facilities by their parents. Fresno police looking for a man they say attempted a smash and grab robbery at a Macy's in Fresno on Wednesday. Here's KMJ's Liz Kern with more details.
Police were first called to Orloff Jewelers on Shaw and Palm Wednesday morning. Employees saw a man in a green sweatshirt, a beanie, shorts, and a face mask hanging around a jewelry case. They thought he was going to smash the case, but he left before police arrived. A short time later, a man matching the description with a hammer tried several times to smash the glass of a jewelry case at the Macy's at Fashion Fair Mall at First and Shaw. He was unsuccessful and ran out of the store. Police say if you have any information on this suspect, call them or Crime Stoppers at 498-STOP. Liz Kern, KMJ News.
Domestic violence is on the rise in Fresno County. Fresno Police Sergeant Marissa Jackson says there have been over 8,400 domestic violence reports so far this year, which is an increase from the nearly 8,000 last year. The police department working with the Marjorie Mason Center to train officers how to talk to victims of abuse and handle these types of incidents. CoBank takes a look at how the economy might impact farmers next year. KMJ Ag Director Don York reports.
The nation's economy still has considerable momentum and is not currently on the verge of recession, according to CoBank's 2023 year-ahead report. But economists have never been more pessimistic, and there are strong reasons for that concern. Over the past half-century, inflation above 5% has never been tamed without incurring a recession. Despite the global pandemic and a steady barrage of challenges, the U.S. agricultural economy has fared quite well over the past 3 years. Yet producers and related industries will start, according to CoBank, show financial strains possibly next year. A relentless series of adversities, including skyrocketing production costs, steeply higher interest rates, and weakening demand, will increasingly pressure farm income and margins. Don York, KMJ News.
Registration for Clovis Community College class is scheduled to start soon. Officials say it begins January 3rd and 4th. Students can qualify for free tuition after meeting a set of requirements, including being a first-time college student and completing the free application for federal student aid. Now the forecast from Fox 26's Christina Lopez.
Good Thursday afternoon. We're tracking a freeze warning in effect through Monday 7 a.m. with overnight and early morning temperatures between 25 and 32 degrees. Looking back at rain totals from the valley's recent storm, Fresno received close to 2/100 of an inch of rain. In Madera, 7/100 of an inch. In Yosemite, nearly 2.5 inches of snowfall. In Visalia, 19/100 of an inch of rain. And in Three Rivers, you saw over 1.5 inches of rainfall. Right here in the Fresno area, a high of 54 with mostly sunny skies, a low of 35 with patchy fog and frost. At the Fox 26 Weather Center, I'm Christina Lopez for KMJ News. Make it a great afternoon.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Jim Miller for News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Thank you, Jim. In Fresno, it's a collision West Lincoln Avenue, South Crew. It's a non-injury accident. Then on northbound 99 at McKinley at the off-ramp, a hit-and-run non-injury accident. Northbound 41 at Shields on the on-ramp, there is a non-injury accident. And Millerton Road at the Millerton Lake entrance, that road area is still closed due to an earlier accident and a downed power line. In Madera, Avenue 18 and a half at Road 24, got a collision there, injuries unknown. Next update, 517. Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
This hour of KMJ's Afternoon Drive is brought to you by A&E Pressure Washers. Sales and service for anything and everything on your wash pad.
Make the season bright with the $550,000 Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway. Come out on Friday, December 23rd for the grand finale to win your share of $90,000 cash. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino. Now, the Valley's Afternoon Drive with Philip Teresi. Philip Teresi. Your calls, your tweets, and your voice are welcome right now on News Talk 580 1059 KMJ.
It's 5:05 at News Talk 580 and 1059 KMJ. Good afternoon and welcome to Hour 4, the Thursday installment of your Afternoon Drive. Find the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Drive KMJ. Find the show on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.tv, also at Drive KMJ. Joshua Weekly is standing by to screen your calls this afternoon as we present your trending topics at 5 o'clock. Republican candidate for state Senate David Shepard has announced that he has requested a recount in all 4 counties in which District 13 covers. Shepard made the announcement after certification of the results with just a 20-vote margin out of over 136,000 votes cast. Democrat Melissa Hurtado was declared the winner last week after Kern County finalized their ballots. Andy Field from ABC News called in to discuss the No TikTok on Government Devices Act. The Senate unanimously approved legislation that would ban the use of TikTok on government phones and devices as part of the push to combat security concerns related to the Chinese-owned social media company. The bill would still need to be passed by the House of Representatives and signed by President Joe Biden to become law. A new NGO report released today claims that TikTok's algorithm targets vulnerable teens and recommends harmful content to them, such as eating disorders, weight shaming, self-harm, sexual assault, suicide. Sometimes TikTok's algorithm displays this content as rapidly as every 30 seconds. Alex Stone from ABC News joined the program to discuss a 4-day school week after a school district in Missouri adopted a 4-day week. On December 13th, the Independence School District voted 6-1 to shorten their week to 4 days beginning in the 2023-2024 school year. And all students in grades pre-K through 12 will attend classes from Tuesday to Friday. The school day will be extended by 35 minutes per day. This has received a mixed reaction from parents. A police officer is recovering from a fentanyl overdose that occurred during a traffic stop in Traveras, Florida. Officer Courtney Bannock pulled over a car that had various narcotics and drug paraphernalia inside. She wore gloves and used PPE, but with high winds and a potent narcotic, she was exposed and overdosed. It took 3 doses of Narcan to revive Officer Bannock. Flynn Anderson joined the program to discuss the ongoing fentanyl epidemic and to talk more about Officer Bannock's case. Mr. Anderson founded Parents and Addicts in Need in 2009 with a mission to communicate the hard truth about addiction, substance abuse, and their increasing dangers. The Biden administration is making rapid COVID tests available for free once again this winter through a limited round of ordering. Households can now order a total of 4 rapid COVID tests free at covidtests.gov. Orders start shipping next week, just days before families begin to gather for the Christmas holiday. Drivers who travel 5 miles per hour or less above the school zone speed limit can choose between traffic citations or an onion presented by the Grinch. Colonel Lou Caputo, a 37-year veteran of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office in Florida, came up with the concept more than 20 years ago, and those speeding over 5 miles an hour will continue to receive a traffic citation. That's your trending topics at 5 o'clock. For those stories and a lot more. You can get the podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen. Just search for KMJ's Afternoon Drive or head to kmjnow.com. Hit the podcast tab. Not only will you find me, but you'll find all kinds of great content from the rest of the KMJ team. 5:09 now on your Afternoon Drive. Again, I'm Philip Teresi. And again, your phone numbers are 490-5858 and toll free 800-776-5858. Yesterday, I saw this story while I was getting ready, and it absolutely knocked me for a loop. Wednesday, the Fresno Police Department released new details about a case of a pregnant woman whose body was found after she was set on fire. Fresno Police Chief Paco Balderrama said, "We believe she was murdered inside her home and then taken to an alley where her brother set her on fire." 26-year-old Nakia Logan was 38 weeks pregnant with a baby boy that she had planned to name Noah. Based on evidence recovered by detectives, they believe that her brother, 41-year-old Aaron Dudley, had been planning this crime. They believe that he stabbed her in the home that they shared with their mother, put her body in a trash bin, pushed it into an alley out near Cornelia and 99, where they say he set it on fire with her inside. Chief Balderrama said, "It takes an awful lot of evil, hate, and planning to stab your sister multiple times. She died of those stab wounds. That's also the case for the baby. Keep in mind, this baby was at 36 weeks. This wasn't a bump. This wasn't a zygote. This wasn't a clump of cells. This was a baby that, given the opportunity, would have been able to survive." The press release from the district attorney's office came in just a couple of minutes ago. The title, Aaron Dudley charged with murdering his sister and her unborn son. Today, the Fresno County District Attorney's Office has filed charges against Aaron Jamal Dudley, 41 of Fresno, for the murder of his 26-year-old sister, Nakia Logan, and her unborn son, Noah Logan. The DA goes on to say that it is alleged that on December 13th at their home in Fresno, Aaron Dudley murdered his sister and her unborn son. It is alleged that Aaron Dudley stabbed his sister multiple times, causing the death of her and her unborn son. Dudley attempted to conceal his crimes by burning the victim's body. The felony complaint filed by the Fresno County District Attorney alleges that Aaron Dudley committed 2 counts of murder, 2 enhancements of use of a deadly weapon, and special circumstances of multiple murder. Dudley was previously convicted of a strike offense for first-degree residential burglary in 2001. And if convicted of all charges and allegations, Dudley faces life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. The DA's office is currently conducting the necessary analysis on whether to seek the death penalty and will make an announcement on that decision at a later date. The defendant was arrested on December 13th in Fresno, booked into the Fresno County Jail. The arraignment for Aaron Dudley is scheduled for Friday, December 16th at 8:30 a.m. Aaron Dudley gets to have his due process. If he chooses, he gets to plead not guilty, have counsel appointed, go through a trial. And at this point, though charges are filed, Aaron Dudley has not been convicted of this crime. But I'm comfortable saying this because I believe this in any case like this. When somebody is so broken and depraved that they would stab a pregnant woman and her unborn child to death, I don't care what the argument was about. I don't care what the disagreement was. I don't care what the worm in his brain may or may not have said to him. I don't care if in another case it was jealousy, it was rage, it was infidelity. The detachment from humanity, the naked depravity of anybody who would commit a crime like this justifies utterly the use of the death penalty. And it is one of the things that angers me most about the governor of the state of California. The people of the state of California have repeatedly voted to reinstate capital punishment in this state, knowing that it is incredibly expensive, knowing that it is frequently delayed by well-intentioned outsiders who in their hearts believe it is wrong and who in their hearts believe that it is inappropriately applied on occasion to innocent people. Despite all of that, the state of California, the people of the state of California, have repeatedly voted to have capital punishment in this state. And Gavin Newsom, ruling by fiat, declared that we would not do that anymore. Declared that despite the wishes of the people of the state and the simple naked necessity of this, he would not do it anymore. Now, I'm not some bloodthirsty lunatic that wants to line up every moron with a DUI and see them shot at dawn. I believe very, very sincerely that capital punishment is something that needs to be used very rarely and only in circumstances where the level of certainty nears absolute and where the nature of the crime is infamous. I think that child rapists should be subject to capital punishment. And I think that people that stab pregnant women to death should receive the death penalty and see it carried out. Yes, I think that there should be, in a death penalty case, I think that there needs to be a robust and serious appeals process. You cannot empower the state to take life without a degree of certainty, unlike any other degree of certainty in anything that the state does. And I believe that government overreach is absolutely a scourge in our time. Aaron Dudley is going to get his day in court. The jury hasn't been picked, much less is it out. When somebody is convicted of something this disgusting and this inhuman, there is no reason for our society to warehouse them. There is no reason for our society to hang on to them until compassionate release comes up. Oh, well, they're very old and very sick, and gosh, it's just going to be more humane to put them back into the world. All of the signs point to Gavin Newsom wanting to run for president of the United States. And whether you listened to Mark Levin, whether you listened to Chris Daniel, whether you just got jumped in with me and Skip, whatever brought you here, one of the biggest problems that we are having in this country is that the executive branch very frequently legislates by edict. The president makes a decision, signs a piece of paper, and creates a effectively law that is completely unconstitutional. And sometimes that is done with good intentions. I point to DACA. And sometimes it is done out of political bias and ridiculous social posturing. Everything else Obama did. The legislatures of our states need to stand up to the governors of our states and stop this. And any executive, a governor, a president who abuses executive authority the way Gavin Newsom has abused it in the state of California should not be rewarded with higher office. There's no place for it. It's News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ. When we get back, we are absolutely switching gears. We've got some good news coming out of downtown and an interesting survey about that so-called quiet quitting thing. I hope you stick around. It's the Afternoon Drive on KMJ.
Let your heart be light.
Well, hi there. We got lots of traffic going on today. West Lincoln Avenue, South Fruit. They're dealing with a non-injury accident. Millerton Road at the Millerton Lake entrance to the lake. There is a problem there with a downed power line, and it's blocking the lane, so they've got traffic being rerouted. And there's no way to get in that area, so if that's where you're headed, you're not going to get there. In Madera, a couple of problems on Avenue 18 and a half and Road 24. A collision reported there. Road 28 and a half and Harper Boulevard, another non-injury accident. And an unknown hazard at this point at Avenue 9 and Road 33 and a half. Next update, 5:33. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
'Tis the season to dash for $550,000 cash. Win your share of $42,000 weekly at drawings every Thursday and Friday. It's the Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway now through December 23rd. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino.
Give the gift of good taste. At Harris Ranch Inn and Restaurant, we know that finding the right gift for family, friends, and employees can be time-consuming. We have the perfect solution. For a limited time, with every $100 gift card you purchase, you'll receive a complimentary $20 bonus gift card. We've taken the hassle out of the holidays by making this option available online at harrisranch.com or visit us in person, and one of our helpful team members will be happy to assist you in purchasing the gift card that keeps on giving. Some restrictions apply. Visit harrisranch.com for more details.
Looking for a new dining and beverage experience? Come check out Genesis Bistro at the northeast corner of Cedar and Nice in Fresno, where the chef's cuisine, along with our mixologist's full cocktail and wine bar, are getting people talking. Open for lunch and dinner, make your next meal with friends or family at Genesis Bistro, a one-of-a-kind experience. Also a great place to host a special event or celebration meal. To reserve an event, call 559-314-8284. Are you a talented hairstylist looking for a change? Check out 8028 Salon at Cedar and Nice, where we have open stations available and a move-in special. 8028 Salon offers a unique location and atmosphere for you and your clients. Elegantly located next to Genesis Bistro, your clients will have full options to enjoy food and drinks during service. 8028 Salon only has a few open stations left. Give your talents as a stylist the location you deserve at 8028 Salon. Inquire today at the location, northeast corner of Cedar and Nice in Fresno.
Save Mart has huge savings on all your holiday needs, from food and gifts to Christmas trees and decor. It's a lot of merry for a lot less. Right now, USDA choice beef ribeye roast whole bone-in is $5.99 a pound. And Dungeness crab clusters are $7.99 a pound. Pick up select Pepsi, 7-Up, Coke, and Polar 12-packs or Rockstar Energy 4-packs. Buy 2, get 3 free of equal or lesser value. Eat, drink, and save at Save Mart.
By now, you've heard the news. Vaccine boosters are available for eligible Californians. Boosters support stronger immunity and help maximize protection against COVID-19 and its variants. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find out if you're eligible and to find a booster near you. That's myturn.ca.gov. Stay healthy and strong. Get boosted. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Oh, won't you stick with me, baby? I'm going to make a lot of bread. I mean both money and actual bread. But right now I need dough, 'cause my delivery truck's dead. And by dough I mean money. Trucks don't run on bread.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but with personalized discounts that save you money, Progressive Commercial keeps you humming along. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I need more dough. Need with an N. I need more dough. Need with a K.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
And paid for by Montreal Drugstore. Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. PowerPill allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 per pill? Call today and get 50 Viagra pills for only $99. This could cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call this if you want Viagra at the lowest prices. Never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 per pill. Call 800-204-0017 today to save up to $500 and get 50 pills for just $99. Power Pill is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-204-0017 to take your call now. Call 800-204-0017. That's 800-204-0017. Again, 800-204-0017.
Roll through the 5 o'clock hour on KMJ, 580 AM, 105.9 FM, and worldwide at KMJnow.com. There's a new KMJ app in your iOS and Android app stores, and go check it out, man. Holy smokes. They upgraded on this thing. Still working on some of the back-end stuff, so like the news link and stuff, I think they're still sorting that out. They were, as of 2 days ago when I played with it. As far as the functionality, so much better. Oh, my God. This is a good one, you guys. KMJ 580 or KMJ Now in the iOS and Android app stores. All right. I want to get away from that stomach-turning story, and I can't think of anything better than good news out of downtown Fresno. Joshua Teehee picking this up and running with it. He starts by saying Y&T is on the calendar to perform at the Warner's Theater next spring. By that point, it will have been more than 3 years since a concert has been held at the Warner's Theater. It shut down for the pandemic and has yet to fully reopen because of ongoing maintenance issues. But work is getting done, and they're expecting to be open and in full operation early in the year. That's coming from Ron Thomas, the president of the board of directors for the Warner's Center for the Performing Arts. That's the nonprofit that runs the theater. Frank's Place has been open for a couple of months now. They've been cracking the door on that for Art Hop, and they're doing a monthly comedy night, which is cool. Mr. Thomas says that Frank's Place has seen some upgrades. They did a total interior repaint, set up some new track lighting, and they stripped and refinished the seating and bar areas. They also redid the dance floor. It's a little thing, but I like this. Ron says, one major difference people will notice and appreciate. Drinks will now be served in actual glasses instead of plastic cups. Over at the Star Palace, they have painted and retextured all the walls. They're working on that. They've got a new VIP section that they're putting together too, so you can get table service. And they've retinted all of those big windows that face Fulton Street. They're also replacing the some of the signage, the logos over the main entranceway. Joshua had a couple of pictures, and I got to say this shot from inside the theater. It looks good, man. They are making progress, and I'm excited about it because Warner's it's a jewel. If somehow you've never been, if you're new to town, or if you just never quite found an excuse to get down there, go to a show. Go check it out. They did prior to the pandemic, they were doing like a family movie night where they were just grabbing fun stuff, Wizard of Oz, Ghostbusters, Goonies, stuff like that. And it's a great excuse to just kind of go in on a casual thing and check it out. One of the things that they've got that I don't think has ever gotten quite the same play as some of the other features in the Warner's Theater. There is a pipe organ in there that will make your hair stand on end. And it's as far as I know, other than maintenance and repairs as one would need over the century that it's been there, this thing's original to the silent movie era. And so there's a couple of folks that know how to handle that beast that have gone down there and performed like as a pre-show entertainment when they've done family movie night and stuff. If you can find a time where they're going to do anything with the pipe organ, holy smokes, grab tickets, go. If you don't see anything else, go check that out, because it will. Somebody who knows how to play that thing, really laying it down, it will shock you to your core how cool it sounds. There is, for all of the advancements that modern movie theaters have, and there's a lot of great amenities in new theaters. There is no THX system. There is no Dolby Atmos system that will make your eyes rattle in your skull like that pipe organ hitting the right note at the right volume. Congratulations to Warner Theater for availing themselves of a difficult opportunity and making good on it. I'm really pleased to hear that it's going to be early into the year that they're back open. But yeah, if you've never been, or if you haven't been lately, go, man. Find an excuse. Find a show you want to see and get down there. Go check out YNT. That's always a fun show. So a survey has rolled out by way of The Hill and Changing America. A survey about quiet quitting. And this was one of these buzzy concepts that started popping up. I feel like it really started getting national play about 2 months ago. And the idea is, if you drop dead tomorrow, the company that you work for is going to replace you the day after. So why would you spend your entire life bending over backwards, working extra hours, going above and beyond? Do what your job description says, and then go home and be with your family. Clock in when your shift starts, clock out when your shift ends. Do your job and do it well. Don't volunteer, don't work unpaid overtime, don't take on projects that fall outside the scope of your employment agreement. Just do your job. I have to admit, the idea is it's antithetical to the way I have tried to conduct myself over the decades now that I've been working. And yet, this survey says that it has been a net positive for the people who've embraced it. We'll take a look at that after an update of headlines with Jim Miller in the KMJ Newsroom.
KMJ News now.
It's 5:30 in Fresno. I'm Jim Miller in the KMJ News Center. Fresno fire investigators calling an early morning blaze at a church in the southeastern part of the city suspicious. Just after 3 yesterday morning, crews called to the Christian Fellowship Center Church of God that's on East Harvey and North Millbrook. Fresno Fire says the blaze began at an outside door, spread to an attic, damaging an office and a classroom. Fresno residents can watch a live-action Christmas story from their cars this weekend. Bethany Church putting on their annual Nativity production on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6 p. to 8 p. Organizers say the event is a free, immersive experience featuring live animals. Enjoy the show. COVID-era health rule Title 42 set to expire next week under a court order. The end being near has created a new rush at the border, but one Arizona lawmaker says she has a solution. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
With Title 42 set to end in less than a week, Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema, who just announced her switch from Democrat to Independent, tells ABC affiliate KTAR that she's working on a bill to extend Title 42 for a year. The bipartisan bill would also boost Border Patrol staffing and pay, change the asylum process, and provide a path to citizenship for Dreamers.
We know it will take time to set up changes to the asylum structure.
She has to work fast with less than a week to go. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Now the forecast from Fox 26's Christina Lopez.
Good Thursday afternoon. We're tracking a freeze warning in effect through Monday, 7 a.m. with overnight and early morning temperatures between 25 and 32 degrees. Looking back at rain totals from the valley's recent storm, Fresno received close to 2/100 of an inch of rain. In Madera, 7/100 of an inch. In Yosemite, nearly 2.5 inches of snowfall. In Visalia, 19/100 of an inch of rain. And in Three Rivers, you saw over 1.5 inches of rainfall. Right here in the Fresno area, a high of 54 with mostly sunny skies, a low of 35 with patchy fog and frost. At the Fox 26 Weather Center, I'm Christina Lopez for KMJ News. Make it a great afternoon.
With news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, and always streaming at KMJNow.com. I'm Jim Miller for News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
Heading to Visalia on Road 96 at Avenue 412. We have a car fire there in Madera. Road 28.5 at Harper Boulevard. 2 vehicles involved in a non-injury accident. Also in Madera, Avenue 18.5 at Road 24. Got a collision with unknown injuries. In Fresno, Belmont and Armstrong got a hazard being reported in the roadway. And West Lincoln, South Fruit, non-injury accident in the cleanup stages. Final check of traffic at 547. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so have your camera ready when they unwrap your gift from Ara Carcasian Jewelers.
Stop by our showroom for the best selection and value of jaw-dropping, eye-sparkling gifts.
Ara Carcasian Watch and Jewelry Company, Bullard and West.
I know exactly how you feel. You're sitting there at the gas pump wondering, am I ever going to have a regular meal again? Because you're cutting out all the good food because you can't afford the gas, right? Wait until you see your next PG&E bill. No more meals out and no more hair because you're going to be pulling that out as well, too. Do what I did. Planet Solar. When you have a solar system put in by Planet Solar, you literally lock in your energy price forever. Don't you wish it could be that way at the gas pump? Sorry, but you can't do that there. But you can do it for your home with Planet Solar, and it all began for them right here in Central California. One of the things I really liked about these guys is their financing. Don't let the rate hike scare you away from going with Planet Solar. And they are really quick and good and efficient on installation, and they have become masters at putting together a complete solar package with a solar battery. So you've got the juice when PG&E says, no, you don't need it because we're trying to conserve to save the world. Click planetsolar.com. Do that. Call them at 228-9245.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1979. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1979. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people, but what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community, too. People encourage and pray for each other. And here's the thing. If you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. That's right. No fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great health care. Find out more. Call now. 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE. 844-53-BIBLE.
Cumulus Radio in Fresno is looking to hire an account executive to represent our radio brands and digital platforms. If you have a background in marketing and advertising and have a passion for helping local businesses grow their footprint in our market, we may be a good fit for you. You will work directly with local clients and help diversify their marketing initiatives across various organized platforms. The ideal candidate will be creative, social media savvy, progressive digital mentality, and fun to work with. Please send your resume to General Sales Manager Melissa Del Carlo at melissa.delcarlo@cumulus.com. Cumulus Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Make the season bright with the $550,000 Holiday Dash for Cash giveaway. Come out on Friday, December 23rd for the grand finale to win your share of $90,000 cash. Only at Chukchansi Gold Resort and Casino. Now, the Valley's Afternoon Drive with Philip Teresi. Your calls, your tweets, and your voice are welcome.
It's 5:38 at News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ. I'm Philip Teresi. Appreciate you hanging out. If you missed any part of the show, grab the podcast at kmjnow.com. Had some great conversations today. Andy Field from ABC News joined us early in the show. We talked about the TikTok ban being forwarded by Senator Josh Hawley for all government technology. Just no more TikTok on government phones, government computers, any of it, period, full stop. And I happen to think that Senator Hawley's correct in this, and I think that we should ban TikTok, period, full stop. But I will definitely start with let's not have it on any of the technology connected to the networks that allow us to run our federal government. Talk to Andy Field, also from ABC News. Alex Stone, also from ABC News. Alex, in a completely different vein of thought, was talking about schools going to 4-day work weeks. Your kids will be in class Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday. The day gets extended a little bit, and it is an extremely attractive way to draw in new staff and retain existing staff, because a lot of teachers, it's not about the money anymore. It's about burning out. And following the pandemic, there's a lot, including the biggest district in Missouri, just went for this. And we talked with Flynn Anderson, founder of Parents and Addicts in Need, about Narcan and the fentanyl epidemic. And if you're interested in procuring Narcan to have it on hand as a just in case, you can go to their website and sign up and get in touch with Flint, and he'll help you pick it up for free. If you want to find that link, it's on social media at Drive KMJ. And if you want to hear what we talked about, again, podcast, anywhere you like to listen, just search for KMJ's Afternoon Drive. Lorna checking in on, what is that, Twitch, regarding the Afternoon Drive Christmas card exchange. So we started this last year, and it went very well, and so we were very excited to bring it back to you guys for 2022. And we've got a whole new card, and a bunch of Christmas cards came in today, so I'm really excited because we're gonna start cranking them out again. As a matter of fact, when I get home tonight, I'm going to be sticking addresses and stamps on these things. Lorna says, Philip, I sent one last year early, and I got dissed. I didn't get one. My 2022 is on the way from Honolulu. Don't fail me again. Lorna, I would never dream of it. And I must have not gotten your card because, Lorna, honest to goodness, you are one of my favorite people in the world, and I cannot imagine not sending a Christmas card back to you. I blame the post office. But yeah, when we get your card, Lorna, absolutely getting one in the mail because of all the folks out there. And I appreciate every single person who listens, whether you are with us for 5 minutes or you are consuming the recommended daily allowance of 4 continuous hours of the Afternoon Drive on KMJ. Without you guys, I ain't got a job. So I when I say I appreciate you, I mean it. You guys feed my family, and I am grateful for that. Only one of you brings me an insane quadruple fudge chocolate cake every year, and that's Lorna. She is one of the sweetest people you will ever meet. And if you've never talked to her, she pops up on Facebook Live sometimes. She pops up on Twitch sometimes, and just she's a sweetheart. If you're bouncing around online, if you're watching the live feed, go find her, say hi to her, make a new friend, because believe me, Lorna's the kind of person you want to be friends with, and not just because she is the best baker in the KMJ audience. Seriously, though, if you sent us a card, I swear we sent one back, dude. I would never blow you off. If you want to be a part of the KMJ Afternoon Drive Christmas card exchange, send your Christmas card. That's how it starts. I get your Christmas card, I get your return address. We send one back. 1071 West Shaw, Fresno, California, 93711. Mark it attention, KMJ's Afternoon Drive, and when we get it, we will get yours in the mail. If you missed the address, if you don't have a pen, KMJnow.com or drivekmj.com. In both places, we got a little graphic up so you can grab that address and get your Christmas card in the mail. We were talking about this survey, Lending Tree in the Hill, talking about quiet quitting. And this survey found that 57% of self-described quiet quitters have found a better work-life balance since adopting the practice. Now, the term refers to when an employee decides to no longer go above the minimum requirements without additional pay. This is also what a wise woman once told me is the principle of love you, pay me. However, the survey also found that only 22% of the respondents actually think the trend's a positive thing. So this trend really popped up on social media during the pandemic. There's a lot of people talking about burnout and overwork and all of that. And I think some of that was just the reality of if you are connected remotely and you are always connected, you are kind of always working. Quiet quitters who are working parents with underage children at home were the most likely to say that the trend improved their work-life balance. 65% of respondents who were working parents with kids younger than 18 said that they had arrived in a better place since so-called quiet quitting. But again, only 22% of respondents actually think the trend's positive. 30% flat out call it negative, and about half said they were just neutral on it. Now, chief credit analyst for LendingTree, Matt Schultz, describes the trend as passive-aggressive and says, you might be better off addressing whatever issues you have head on. Share your concerns with your employer in hopes of improving your situation instead of just mentally checking out. Andy says, if you can't resolve your issues with your employer, it might make sense to find another job that you'll find more engaging or motivated. But you can't know if a problem's fixable if it's never really openly addressed in the first place. And that, I think that that's about 50% common sense, because I think that most of us, if you go to your boss and you say, look, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I need. I'm frustrated. I'm discouraged. I'm whatever. Your boss, if you're even a halfway decent employee, is going to try to find a way to improve things. Now, maybe that's a raise. Maybe that's benefits. Maybe that's incentives in the workplace. It's encouragement, or it's bonuses for projects that fall outside of the description that you signed up for. And I think there's also a significant percentage of bosses that are going to say, I got a stack of resumes 3 inches thick sitting in my desk drawer. If you're not happy here, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. I've been pretty fortunate. Most of the folks that I have worked for, if I've raised the issue, I've gotten not always an enthusiastically positive response, but I've gotten a response that has led to something changing, something getting better. One of the nice things about this, because I'm a habitual overworker. I'm one of those people, something needs to be done, I'll do it. There's a chance to do more. Yeah, let me grab that. And it's kind of a combination of wanting to prove myself and ingratiate myself because I feel like it's a good thing to be a go-to guy. And part of it is I do get bored doing the same thing over and over again. So finding something else to do that becomes a part of the job is more stimulating. And I've had bosses that have basically said, if you don't like it, quit. What's nice about that is for somebody like me who will kind of just take on everything and then get mad when nobody stands up and claps, it tells me it's okay. Give me your notice. Time to move on. But like I said, most bosses, if you just hit them on the level, if you just, hey, I'm not good. We need to change things up. They'll try to work with you. As far as going passive aggressive, I never get the passive part right. It's News Talk 580, 105.9 KMJ.
And I won't mind just sliding down your chimney.
In Fresno, westbound 168 at the westbound 180 connector got a non-injury accident. Belmont at North Armstrong, an unknown hazard in the roadway. And keep in mind, Millerton Road at the Millerton Lake entrance, that road is closed and is going to be that way for several more hours while they try to get rid of a power pole that's down on the roadway. Visalia Road 96 at Avenue 412, a car fire there. And then it's Madera and Avenue 7.5 at Road 9 where there is an injury accident. Los Banos, Henry Miller Road at State Route 33, a hit and run. non-injury accident. This report is brought to you by Evans Feed. I'm Greg Lane with KMJ Traffic.
Concrete blocks are being used to cover electrical access panels to prevent copper thieves from robbing you blind. Check them out online at bestconcreteblocks.com.
Lon Hanna here with Evans Feed Christmas one-stop shopping trip. Steal a deal on all their steel products like Black Friday black pipe panels, gates, and water troughs up to 20% off. Candles, jewelry, and cute clothes for that special lady. Toys and the cutest boots ever for little cowpokes. Hats, coats, boots, pet and show supplies, rain gear, with discounts galore in store. At Evans Feed, you shop, they'll wrap, well, maybe not the steel. Evans Feed in Madera, Chowchilla, and Porterville. Merry Christmas.
We all have that person who is hard to buy for. Well, Thomas & Tractor Company in Fireball is making it easy for you. Anything John Deere they have, from the John Deere compact utility tractors to a large showroom with parts, toys, hats, safes, boots, and apparel for the entire family. Come in today and see our full lineup of Ariat boots and clothing for all of your holiday shopping needs at Thomas & Tractor Company, family owned and operated for over 55 years. Thomas & Tractor Company in Fireball, where superior service is standard equipment.
The story of the nurse and the foot pain that nearly brought him down.
I feel like I'm giving people their lives back.
Robert lived to take care of his patients, but he couldn't do it unless he took care of his foot pain.
I have plantar fasciitis. It'll almost put you on your knees. That's how much it hurts.
His own recovery started when he got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now that I'm pain-free, I can make these people feel better.
Can't beat that. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Step into your Good Feet store in Fresno, Merced, and Visalia.
It's a new day because COVID vaccines just got a big update. So all the big stuff coming up this fall, well, now you can say, you bet I'll be there. Because updated COVID vaccines protect against both the original COVID virus and Omicron. And everyone 5 and older can get one. So this is a moment we've all been waiting for.
Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Will you be traveling to see family and friends this holiday season? There's an updated COVID-19 vaccine that helps protect against the newer variants. If you are older or have a chronic condition, you are at greater risk. If it's been more than 2 months since your last shot, or 3 months since you had COVID, you should get the shot. It's easy and free to you. Learn more at covidvaccineproject.org. That's covidvaccineproject.org.
Save Mart has huge savings on all your holiday needs, from food and gifts to Christmas trees and decor. It's a lot of merry for a lot less. Right now, USDA choice beef ribeye roast whole bone-in is $5.99 a pound. And Dungeness crab clusters are $7.99 a pound. Pick up select Pepsi, 7-Up, Coke, and Polar 12-packs or Rockstar Energy 4-packs. Buy 2, get 3 free of equal or lesser value. Eat, drink, and save at Save Mart.
Meet the Kerr Companies. We are Kerr Wealth Management, Kerr Tax Advisors, Kerr Payroll, and Kerr Insurance. Collectively, we do it all under one umbrella. If you're a business owner or professional looking for straightforward business advice, investment solutions, payroll, or tax solutions, the Kerr Companies would love to meet with you to show you simple, straightforward solutions for complex problems. Call the Kerr Companies today at 559-277-4772 or online at thekerrcompanies.com. Kerr Companies.com.
Think you have a good reason for not donating blood?
I don't have any blood to spare.
Fact. Your body is constantly manufacturing blood. And since you won't be eligible to donate again for 56 days, your body will completely replace your generous donation. There's no excuse for not helping make sure that the Central California Blood Center always has an adequate supply of blood available for your family, friends, and neighbors. Be the bigger person. Go to donateblood.org now to make an appointment.
KMJ Fresno.
Everything that happens in Fresno's got to run the gauntlet at KMJ. It is such a blessing for you all to have what you have. It's been 100 years of communicating with your community. There's nothing like that for 1,000 miles.
And so ends our broadcast day.
Rolling up on 6 o'clock on your afternoon drive. This is News Talk 580 at 105.9. I'm Philip Teresi. Did I say KMJ? Oh, yeah, and worldwide at KMJnow.com. Hey, coming up tomorrow on the Ray Appleton program, Truth Social CEO Devin Nunes is back. Going to be talking about all these shenanigans on social media. How's Truth Social doing? What's the growth look like? And will President Trump ever use his Twitter account again? Of course, Elon Musk has since reinstated it, but as yet, I do not believe that Donald Trump has made use of it. So expect Devin Nunes on the Appleton program tomorrow on KMJ. We got a couple of guests coming up on the afternoon drive as well, right after Ray Appleton. Central California Business Federation Executive Director Clint Olivier will be with us. By now, you have certainly heard about My Job Depends on Oil. This is an initiative from BizFed to help people understand and better appreciate the role that oil and oil production and oil extraction has in our region's economy. And there's been some silliness about the value of My Job Depends on Oil. Clint's going to talk about the pushback that he's received in some of the local media. And after that, we are going to have United States Marine Corps Major Terry Sladek, retired. And he's also a former trustee on the Fresno Unified Board of Trustees, you may recall. Major Sladek was accused earlier this week of having misreported a gift on his Form 700. This is the financial disclosure form that political people of all shapes and sizes have to fill out so that the public knows where they're getting their goodies from. And there is an annual dinner hosted by Superintendent Bob Nelson that former trustee Sladek was a part of last December. And there's an accusation that trustee Sladek overdid it on ordering drinks for the table. There's an accusation that trustee Sladek tried to cover up what he was doing by asking the restaurant to mislabel the receipt. And then there's an accusation that trustee Sladek somehow may have broken the law or at least violated FPPC practices by having reported a different amount than what is now being discussed in the media. And so Terry Sladek's going to join us tomorrow afternoon to talk about that story, to give his side of the story. And to the best of my knowledge, this will be Terry Sladek's first public comment on the matter since the story broke at the beginning of the week. For now, that's going to do it for us. If you missed any part of the show, again, find podcasts at kmjnow.com. Don't forget Devin Nunes with Ray Appleton tomorrow, and then Clint Olivier and Terry Sladek here on the Afternoon Drive. Afternoon Drive Christmas card exchange is underway. Find the details on that at kmjnow.com. Thank you guys for your calls, for your messages, for your time. I'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock on News Talk 580 and 105.9 KMJ. Don't move. The great one, Mark Levin, is next.
Greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all.
Missed part of the show? Get the Afternoon Drive podcast at kmjnow.com or by searching KMJ's Afternoon Drive in